the UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Subway.
Week 2 of the high school football season here on UTV 44, a 5A region matchup in Baldwin County as Gulf Shores travels up to Spanish Fort to take on the Toros on a rainy night for high school football. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox. My partners Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett. All right, Dan, whenever it's a region game, you got some rivalry. But how about the gas that's been thrown on this rivalry fire?
Well, I'll tell you what, in case you don't know, Mark Freeman, who's the head coach at Spanish Fort now, Spanish Fort won the state last year, he used to coach a team called Gulf Shores, the Dolphins down the street, right? Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? The Dolphins are here tonight. So that's a team, though they come in probably an underdog. They're 1-0, and Spanish Fort is 0-1. But considering who they played, you'd have to say Spanish Fort is the favorite tonight. The team in white and blue, very motivated to pull the upset against their former coach. You know, Mark made that move strictly as a career move, but some feelings were hurt.
Yeah, now down in Gulf Shores, they get a great young coach. They hire Ben Blackman from Greenville. There's a reason they hired him, Vic.
Yeah, he's had some wins in the past, and, you know, Coach Blackman is a new young guy, but he's going to establish his way. He's going to play, you know, conservative offense, probably play strong defense, and, you know, just play his brand of football.
Yeah, it's like the Bryant Vincent coaching tree. He was the head coach here last year that won state. He left Greenville to come to Spanish Fort. They hired Ben Blackman to go to Greenville. Then Vincent goes to USA. Freeman comes here. That's why we got the rivalry we have here tonight. Stick around.
Like
the kickoff.
Like a game of Twister.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Kickoff comes up after this. We can't wait to see Greenwood in the rain all night tonight here on UTV 44. We are at the fort tonight. The rain has come, the rain is gone, but I would have to guess it's going to come back.
Well, if you look at any forecast between, I don't know, San Antonio and Miami, it's like we're going to get a little rain this weekend.
Josh Carroll ready to kick off for the Gulf Shores Dolphins. Gulf Shores making their first appearance on the UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week. Left-footed kicker will send this one to the near side, and Brandon McCants will pick it up. McCants slips, stays on his feet, and he'll get out to about the 30. That's where the Spanish Fort offense will take over. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Pat Greenwood down on the sidelines. And let's go down to Pat Greenwood. Hey, Patrick.
What's going on, fellas? I'll tell you what, you talk about the field conditions. It's not bad down here at all, and I'm so confident my rain jacket's on the other side of the field.
Wow.
How about that? Huh? What are you going to do about that?
Wow. Well, I've never wanted the rain more than right now, Patrick. Joel Poe, your starting quarterback. The handoff on the near side coming around was Deion Johnson. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Joel Poe started 3 games last year. Actually was a starter at the beginning of the year last year in a game we did here against Fairhope. Had a big week last week against Fairhope. 17-25, 252, and 3 touchdown passes. Was our guest on the pregame show.
That's against one of the better 6A teams in the state. It's a good game.
Pickup of 2 for Johnson. Poe tries to pitch it. Ball's on the ground. Able to be picked up by Otis Smith, and he loses his footing. And all the way back at the 25-yard line.
Held on to it just a little bit too long and should have pitched it maybe a little early, and then his back would have found some traction and got around the end.
Take a look at our starting lineups for Spanish Fort. Look at Deion Johnson, their number 9. 9 catches for 99 yards last week and a couple of touchdowns. Brian Crane, 4 catches, 128 yards, including an 85-yard catch and run. Otis Smith had 56 yards. We talked about the big game that Poe had at the quarterback spot. 3rd and 15. Poe looks, feels some pressure, dumps it out of the backfield, able to get that one off to Otis Smith, the running back, up the far side, breaks a tackle. He's going to be brought down short of the first down.
I'll tell you, he's making an impression so far already is the guy that's going to commit to Georgia Tech, 45, Tyler Stargell, big linebacker.
He was our guest in the pregame show, had 10 tackles and a sack last week as we look at our starting lineups brought to you by Greer's. Also Ryan Morgan, the other outside linebacker for Gulf Shores. Big week last week, 12 tackles as well. And then you've also got some pressure coming up front from Taylor Hansen and Hanich, who had a sack last week for Gulf Shores in their win over Robertsdale.
Yeah, here's how well the defense played last year. Robertsdale put 56 on Gulf Shores last year. They scored 6 this past week.
So flag brings this one back. Vic, did you see the flag? I did not catch the flag.
I saw the flag come in late, but I didn't see the infraction. So let's see what he has to say.
It wasn't a dead ball foul because they still have it at 3rd down.
That's like an illegal block of some sort on a Spanish Fort.
So it'll be again 3rd and 15 from the 25.
And they're giving them a sideline warning as well.
We knew,
early in the ball game.
We were down in the field, and we knew that one was coming, talking with supervisor officials. We kind of had an inkling that was coming. Got to thank the fine folks at Spanish Fort for their hospitality.
Delicious fish.
Oh, fish and fries.
Yeah.
They welcome us. They were telling us last week during the game that they couldn't wait for us to get here.
They backed it up.
3rd and 15 for the Toros, looking to set the screen up to Otis Smith. Smith at the hash marks, cuts it up the field at the 30 to the 35, stays on his feet. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down at the 39.
Holy smokes, they almost got it. And I'll tell you, again, Stargell, the best defensive player, basically takes himself out of the play because he comes rushing the quarterback right there.
Yeah, he was in on a blitz,
right.
And it was a perfect call against the blitz. Throw it right into the teeth, back, doing some tough, hard running there, but comes up. He got the first down. So
wow,
good tough running there. Good pickup.
They have not.
No, it's 4th.
No, it's 4th. They haven't moved
they switched it to 4.
Yeah, no, that was Andrew Hansen who came all the way down from his nose tackle position to get the tackle, and now they'll send the punt team on. Plenty of time on the play clock.
Look forward to seeing the senior quarterback for Gulf Shores High School, who's a Division I prospect.
Christopher Tilley back deep to receive the punt from Alexander Theodore. Angled kick, and this one bounces back at the 20. Tilley had some trouble with it, finally gets back on top of it.
Just trying to look for some room to run there, and that just wasn't there.
Hey, don't forget, you can contact us all throughout the game. Hey, guys at UTV44, send us an email. We'll answer them on the air. You know, it was funny. If you're watching the game live on Friday, you could send us these emails that kind of get filtered through Jared Kihas, our producer. Well, Saturday night, he's sitting on the couch, went to a rare night off, and all of a sudden his phone starts blowing up because it's the replay of the game on Saturday night. So if you email us on Saturday night at the Davison Fuels and Oil, hey guys, you're not going to get a response. There the Dolphins. Silvers strong arms this one out to the near side. That's Garrett Carter, and Carter gets out to the 30.
They were looking for something deep there with Silver's big arm.
He was trying to wait till the receiver got uncovered, but it just took too long.
Take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by Greer's again. We talk about Silver's big year last year, 2,700 yards and 26 touchdowns. Josh Carroll, the workhorse running back out of the backfield. Spazel, the receiver, but Tilley is the big guy you want to keep your eye on, number 1. Not big guy in size, but he is a great receiver. As Carroll goes up the middle, and he's about the 37-yard line, and that's going to be good for a first down for the Dolphins.
Brandon Silvers, big old quarterback there. He looks good. Confident kid.
Defense for the Toros. They only return a couple of starters, but number 13 is the guy. DeMarco Montgomery, big defensive end, 6'1", 244. Shane English, the safety, he starts as well.
Keep an eye on Matt Hall, too, number 7. I believe he's just a sophomore, but he is a solid football player at linebacker.
First down for the Dolphins. Silvers with a quick one over the middle. That's Carroll, and Carroll's out near the 45.
Like what I see of Silvers.
I do. I love him. I mean, standing tall there in the pocket, big old good-looking kid. You say he's a D1 prospect, correct?
He definitely is, and he had a huge year last year. Keep in mind, last year they were running Coach Mark Freeman's offense, the guy that out Spanish Fort, which is much more wide open, and the quarterback has got an opportunity to put up a lot of numbers. That's not quite the case this year.
And the quarterback's got to be heady to play for Mark Freeman.
No doubt. I mean, it really is a position that is acquired over some time. Joel Poe's ahead of the curve.
Second and short. Silvers ran it 17 times last week, picked up 60 yards.
Yeah, I bet that's not his strong suit. He just doesn't look that part, but he looks like he can sit back in that pocket, find a receiver, and deliver the football.
It's a 3rd down and 2.
You talked about Chile. Vic, Chile, the leading receiver a year ago, had 81 catches.
At 5'9".
At 5'9", in a 10-game high school season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't play. It's not like they went to the state championship and played an extra 5 games to get those 81.
No, they were 10 and out.
3rd and 2, 5 minutes into this one. Good feel, good tempo to the game so far.
I agree, yeah.
Silvers with a low snap over the middle, comes to Carroll, and he's got the 1st down to the 41-yard line.
Not getting rattled back there at all. Silvers, like you say, I think part of it is his stature.
Sure.
Right? He can see. Watch.
Take a look at
pressure
it.
right away, Vic.
Low snap. He stands right there and delivers the football. Good touch on the pass. Not a hard pass. Not a low pass. A little high, but they got it to the receiver.
Vic, you talked about Coach Blackman in the open and saying, conservative, probably will be conservative on the play calling. And you see the throws they're the high percentage throws. Real efficient stuff. Not a lot of chances. Not a lot of gambles.
Yeah.
And a fresh set of downs here for the Dolphins. Good protection. Silvers floats it on the near side. He's got a man, and he just overthrew him as he was trying to get Zabel, and that was over his head by a step.
Yeah, that looked like his second option there in his reads there. It was covered in his first option. He went to his second one, and he was open if you take a look at it. See, looking that way, then he comes back to his second option, tries to get it there, but just overthrows him right there.
Zabel, a big target too, 6'1". He can go up and get it.
Well, if you're just going by the pretty factor, Silver at quarterback is fun to watch.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's Carroll. He'll just plod ahead. He's almost like a fullback size. He's 5'11", 215.
Yeah.
Kind of would see him as maybe that fullback, but he's going to be that guy who just gets you 6-7 yards at a crack.
Yeah, he's going to try to keep Silver, upright by simply running the football well, but they can't just bring the house on the QB.
And this will be a 3rd and 7. 2 third downs converted on this drive thus far.
Tell you what we've got here, guys, for sure, is 2 very well-coached teams.
It looks like it. Players where they're supposed to be. It'll just have to be the athletes coming out.
Quarterback drawn. Silvers makes a move, and he's going to be very close, but maybe just shy of that 1st down. Vic, you think he's got it?
I think he's got it. He looks to be ahead of it there.
Hey, Will!
Take a look at our Tyndall Credit Union.
And I expecting him to run 100 yards, but, he can pick up those short yards like that, spin out of a tackle like that, and
move the chains.
That's right. That's what you want.
He is
another opportunity. Oh,
just
close,
short.
huh?
He's just short. They have not measured. Yep, so we will take a heat timeout. Boy, perfect timing to build the drama on 4th and 1.
Yeah, like we need any more drama around here.
Yeah, so we get a break scoreless early on. It's going to be a good one tonight in Spanish Fort here on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. Toro Nation not afraid of a little storm tonight.
No.
They are out here, 4th and 1. Silver's been good so far, 2 of 3, 22 yards through the air, 3 rushes, 12 yards picked up as well. 4th and 1 for the Dolphins. They give it to Nickel, and he lunges ahead on second effort, and that's going to be very, very close.
He got hit behind the line.
Yeah, second effort, and he's according to the spot, but he's taking a peek at it. Take a quick handoff. Second effort, just
nice
lunging forward.
Yeah, the big lunge there is what got him close to the spot. I don't know if the Eagle-Eye Greenwood if he can nail it to see. What you thinking, Patrick?
Jimmy, they actually won't let us in the box. So I don't know. I got to stay 25 to the end zone, 25 to the end zone each way.
What?
I know. Usually they let us get in, pretty much wherever we want. So
who do we have to call?
I don't know.
First down.
I don't know. I don't have the connections apparently.
Well, Greenwood's on restriction.
Yeah, that's nothing new. But usually it's not on Friday night at the football game.
Some would say McGill, they let him call the plays. Hall of Famer. And he crosses the bay, no access.
No access.
All right, so a first down for the Dolphins. Impressive drive so far.
I agree. Taking time off the clock, keeping this explosive Spanish Fort offense off the field.
Mark Freeman, of course, was the head coach at Gulf Shores last year, as Dan alluded to, so he knows the personnel that he's watching on this offense out here. That one fired incomplete. We're going to have a holding call. And Silvers wanted a roughing the quarterback call as well.
You could have got, that was an option there.
But we're going to get a hold all the way back at the 42. That's going to be ugly. And let's go back down to Pat Greenwood.
Well, just when I was about to brag on the guy, that's when he gets the holding penalty. John Thomas Peterson is a senior offensive lineman, 6'4", 280. He's the one that's been charged with trying to contain DeMarco Montgomery. And up until that play, he'd done a pretty good job. I wanted to brag on him a little bit, but DeMarco got the best of him that time. All he could do was grab his jersey and hope the referee didn't see it.
Well, maybe that's why he's been doing a good job thus far.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've just been introduced to the curse of Greenwood.
Let's take a look here.
See if he can catch it. Oh, yeah, he's got his shoulder all turned there.
Look, Vic will just jump on an offensive guy like nobody's business. No benefit of the doubt for those offensive guys, huh,
Jim,
Vic?
us defensive players, we got to get them when we can.
You were held every play.
Every play, man. They never called it.
So this is going to be...
Can you imagine Vic's career stats?
If he wasn't held?
He held on every play.
Oh,
amazing.
1st and 30 here for the Dolphins.
And Silvers did a good job on the previous play, not doing something dumb, just kind of live to play another down.
Has sometimes strong arms it to Tilly, his favorite receiver, who can't hold on to it.
He's got a strong arm. You see that. And he also, I think that time, he might have a habit. His arm is so strong, throwing off the back foot a little bit. Being a little Matthew Stafford cute. But he's got a gun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he winds up and throws that well. It just...
Got away from him a little bit. Probably a little wet. The ball's damp out there. He's putting it on the wet field.
Silvers, to me, appears to see the field well, too, Vic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this guy, thus far, to me, has been real impressive, and, hadn't made a mistake with the football. Just living to play another down.
2nd and 30. Pitch goes to Nichols and... pitch goes to Carroll, and he'll be knocked out of bounds.
I'm sure Coach Blackman said to him, we said at the top of the broadcast he likes to play a lot conservative. He probably told his quarterback, look, I know you got a gun, but don't lose the ball game for me. Just find a way to keep the chains moving, and we'll play good defense, and you'll have your opportunity, son.
Just a killer penalty that made it a 1st and 30 after a nice drive to that point.
That's after the 4th and 1 pickup to extend the drive.
Right.
Now they've got to get almost to the Tyndall Credit Union in Spanish Fort to get the first down, which is right on 31 here.
Always fun to come to Spanish Fort and do a game, huh?
Oh, love it. I love the commute myself.
Yeah, right. Your bicycle's parked over there, I'd say.
3rd and long. Silvers has some time, and he'll just throw this one out of bounds to the near sideline.
Buying as much time as he could until it just collapsed on him.
Yeah, and Marcus Walton gave him a pretty good shove after the play as well, and that's 2 that Silvers thought maybe there should have been a 15-yard flag thrown on. You were talking about him seeing the field, Dan. Boy, those college guys, when you're 6'3", boy, that goes way up the pecking order of what you can and can't do.
Sure, no doubt about it.
I mean, we see guys who are athletes and athletic, and every now and then you see a linebacker that just looks like a linebacker.
Watch the end of the play here.
And a quarterback that just looks like, wow, that kid's a quarterback right there.
He's also the punter. And it's a fake. He's going to run to the near side. He's got to get a long way, though, and he gets just to midfield, and that's it. Wow, on 4th and 30.
Brandon McCants chased him down. That's a corner against a pocket passing quarterback. That corner there is going to win most of those battles in a foot race. Take a look at it. Looked like it was fake all the way, guys. He thought he was going to catch him asleep, but Brandon McCants said, no, sir.
Well, boy, they'd have 30 yards to wake up.
You're going to have to, catch everybody asleep.
It happens. I've been out there when you're playing it, and you're like, wow, okay, don't want to go to the sideline after this one.
Well, boy, and you think, okay, the drive stalls, you think, okay, now we got a chance to at least pin him back.
Yeah, flip the field a little bit.
Flip it, yeah.
Gonna flip that thing. All right.
Otis Smith will pick up a couple for the Toros.
Dangerous offense in a short field.
Yeah, Coach Blackman getting outside of himself on that one, huh?
Hey,
Not with the odds.
of course, and sometimes it's the player who calls that one himself.
No, better not.
Well, I mean, sometimes you see that happen, and then it's
better not.
It's usually a terse conversation on the sideline.
Yeah. You call a fake punt on 4th and 30.
Maybe Greenwood called that one. Down to the near side as they look to go back to Johnson, and that one incomplete.
John Frizzell back there playing the safety position. Did a good job reading over there and going up high and knocking that ball down. As much as his, it is the receiver. He's trying to intercept it.
Yeah, Deion Johnson, as we said, 9 catches for 99 yards last week and a couple of touchdowns.
He's more than likely the fastest guy on the field. I really don't think there's an argument about that. Keep an eye on him because that's what Gulf Shores has got to do.
Deion Johnson, the fastest one, huh?
Yep.
He's Deion Sanders fast, huh?
He can go.
3rd and 8. Poe fires on the far side right at the stick. He's going to be very close. That's Blaine Crane, his 5th catch of the season.
Yeah, nice design play there. They fake the underneath stuff, but go deep. As you take a look, there's a receiver underneath there acting as if he wants to catch it short, but then he goes deep with it.
And speaking of quarterbacks, Poe doesn't look bad
That
either.
wasn't bad there. No, that was a good pass.
All right, so 4th and 1. Let's see, they're at the 41, and they try to go straight ahead, and there's a big surge back the other way, and I do not think they got it.
Yeah, I don't see the push that you'd like to get on the sneak, but it didn't take long.
Pat Greenwood.
All right, I've got access on the Gulf Shores sideline. I think he's short. I think he had to get across the 40, and I think he's short.
So they like Pat at the beach, but not so much up here.
I don't know what it is, man.
We're going to rethink those post-game plans we had. Let's see here. Like Vic said, the surge came from the team in white.
Yeah, it just wasn't the push you expect from Spanish Fort to nudge and get that first down.
Reese
We'll
Dismuth is starting tomorrow for Auburn.
Yeah, he's busy this weekend. He couldn't
That's right.
make it down here and help his high school buds.
They still can't decide.
They did
get it. Boy, and the Gulf Shores players did not like the spot.
Well, they don't like the result, that's for sure.
So the Toros, much like Gulf Shores, keep the drive alive with a 4th down conversion. Boy, it just feels like this is going to be this game all night long.
It could be. I think the one X factor is some of these skill guys that the Toros have that Gulf Shores is going to have to stay, keep bottled up.
Get a good look at Poe. Again, he was our guest on the pregame show. This is Ed Autry, and Autry's going to be bottled up himself back to the 43.
A lot of emotion in white tonight. Make no mistake. That Gulf Shores team wants to make a statement here this evening. They're excited about being 1-0. Wow, that's the big linebacker going to Tech.
Showing you why he's going there, too.
Yeah. He's another guy. He looks
the part.
He looks the part, right?
6'4", 250.
And going to Georgia Tech, I believe he can read a book.
Yeah, 29
or
on
write it.
29 on the ACT.
Wow. I'll be asking him for a job in a couple of years.
Exactly. Let's be nice to him.
You're talking about them being fired up, Dan. They have only beaten Spanish Fort one time. Autry up the middle, cuts it back, and he's going to have a Toro first down inside the 30.
Yeah, Autry right there on that little pitch there. Just sticks his foot in the ground and finds some traction on the end there. Hair isn't slowing him down at all. Slivers right on through there, picks up first down.
He does not have to visit the Dean of Hair Discipline.
That was Parker Mason who was at the end of that collision.
Here's a good look at the throw out the back of the helmet there on number 2.
Minute 20 to go in the opening quarter here. This one going to be stretched out to the near side. Here, right, you can see the emotion. There's Chris Carlisle coming up with a stop. They start a couple of sophomores in there.
Ben Blackman, talking to him earlier in the week, Jim, he was really just, in a way concerned that the emotion was too much.
Yep.
That it was overtaking the whole, we got to win the game. We have to execute, not just go down there and start a brush fire.
Yeah, he said really had to work on it in practice Monday. He said, you can't spend it all out here. It's not going to do you any good. Poe comes back to Johnson, and Johnson, you can see that speed that Dan alluded to. A big collision at the 15. Johnson and John Frizzle.
Yeah, John come to play tonight, helmet or not. I like the intensity.
Lost the helmet, but kept the play going.
Yeah, take a look at it. The speed coming out here. Right into your screen. Oh, watch your helmet. And a little extracurricular to it.
Did they throw a 15 on that?
No, I didn't see a flag at the end. That shouldn't have been. No, I don't think.
Yeah.
They did. Wow. That's a terrible call.
Well, he was kind of out of bounds. Even the defensive guy, I'll say he was out just a bit and, threw a little sling in afterwards, plays dead out of bounds.
We saw a couple that could have gone the other way that didn't get called.
Yeah.
I didn't like that call.
I don't know about that. Watching it, first of all, a little disoriented after you lose your helmet.
You don't know where you are, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe so. Maybe that's legit.
Might have earned it a little more than we first thought. That's why our UTV 44
that's right.
crew getting the shot there for us.
That's right. All right.
Yeah, he was halfway out of bounds. Plays over and dead, wants to hit the boundary. Do everything between the white lines.
I just think when you lose your helmet, you're a little ticked off when you lose your helmet.
And you get a little leeway as well with that, right?
Yeah, I would think.
We just saw a very politically incorrect sign here. It says, make some sushi out of the Dolphins. I just one of the signs just saw us. This one comes to the near side, trying to get in his Johnson. He lunges. Touchdown, Toros.
There you go. There's the skill.
Yeah, Johnson did a good job. You said he's a speed burner, but he used his toughness right then. Just kept his legs going. You take a look here. He just slings it out here, and he does the rest. He runs a little bit, stops, and said, get off of me. I'm going in the end zone.
Yeah, the strength as well, Vic. You talked about the speed, but the strength also.
Yeah.
This is really a quick strike offense, and by that, Poe gets the ball out of his hands quickly. It's a quick read and find the open, and not a lot of stuff downfield so far from Spanish Fort. Everything quick.
Johnson on for the point after making it. That's actually Alexander with the kick, and it's 7-0. So the Toros take advantage of the great field position, march it in for the score, and they're on top 7-0 late in the first. Here on UTV 44.
This is the UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week.
In 1916, my great-great-grandfather, Autry Greer, built the first Greer store to bring great service and values to the people of his community. 5 generations later, we are committed more than ever to this vision. Come enjoy the Greer's difference of top-quality Black Angus beef cut fresh daily. Pick some up for your grill today.
Fresh Old Friars, 88 cents a pound. Fresh-made ground beef, $2.18 a pound.
Family, football, and Greer's, always a winning tradition. Greer's got it. We guarantee it.
Not a lot of people understand my passion for cars, but I found someone who does. And when it came time for me to buy my new car, my better half was with me every step of the way. Now I've got this great new relationship, this great new car, and more money in my pocket each month. Now what's not to love about that?
Check out Tyndall Federal Credit Union's auto loan rate starting at 1.99% APR for 60 months. More choices, more dependable, more benefits. Tyndall Federal Credit Union.
This is the UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week.
Yeah, there's a reason it was the game of the week. You went back and looked at the prep preview that Josh Beam did for the Press Register. One of the games highlighted in the 5A section, it was this one.
Yeah.
Everybody knew, and you could see the emotions that are out there on both sides.
You really can. And hopefully you're catching them with the great pictures we've got going on TV tonight with the crew working very hard and not the best conditions. But actually the rain's kind of let up for a while here since a little before pre-kickoff, and it's a little slick out there, but otherwise pretty comfortable.
Yeah, we got to thank a couple of young students here from Spanish Fort. Tyler Murphy and Clark Wortham are manning the squeegee. We're going to sound so whiny. Last week we had no air conditioning. We were whining because it almost was a death in the press box. But the air conditioning's so good in here, we're getting condensation outside of our windows, so the young men keep come squeegeeing for us.
And let me tell you, the Death in the Press Box, that's the novel I've been working on. It's got to do with
It'll be a bestseller in the New York Times.
Believe me, it'll sell around here because we'll talk about it all the time on high school football. Death in the Press Box.
This one goes back to the 2. Josh Carroll lumbers out to the 15, still on his feet, now the 20, and he'll get out to about the 25-yard line.
It looks like an illegal block somewhere. It was a holding
On a return?
Not sure.
Really? On a return?
Yeah. See, this team can't afford any of that because they really don't have the game breakers. So they can't put themselves in a hole like this. Spanish Fort might be able to make up for it.
Sure. But here's what we see what Gulf Shores is made about. They've been punched in the mouth. They've got a score on them. Let's see how the emotion does now, whether they've let the air out of the sails on it.
Take a look at our Spring Hill Toyota scoring summary there. So we see 11 plays, 49 yards, 316 before the touchdown to give the Toros the 7-0 lead.
Well, let's see if Brandon Silvers can get his offense back out on the field and put together a sustainable drive here that means something and, maintain that emotion and, maintain the intensity they've had thus far.
Yeah, you're right, and I just think that the low block puts him in such a tough spot back at the 10-yard line.
Mm-hmm. How about Gulf Shores? 3 penalties, 40 yards so far, and really where they got themselves in the jam was that fake punt out at midfield and really kind of changed the flow of this game here. Here comes Josh Carroll. Don't want a lot of flow to the left side, but a lot of red and black going with it.
Yeah, Ronald Smith right there as a linebacker trying to get that swing pass.
That'll wrap up the opening quarter as well. So we've played one, and it's been what we thought it would be. It's a good one so far. 7-0. The Toros on top here on our UTV 44 Game of the Week. UTV 44 Game of the Week. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Pat Greenwood on the sidelines. Jared Quijas doing it all in the truck for us here tonight. It looks good. Gulf Shores fans making the drive up. And you know what they're going to be thinking? Great. Holiday traffic on the way back home to the beach.
Well, if anybody's used to holiday traffic, it's folks in Gulf Shores.
Yeah.
Because it all ends up on their, of course, that's how they make their dollars. So.
And the forecast isn't helping their dollars this weekend.
Well, I think a lot of those people are already booked. So
let's hope they got their deposit as well.
Non-refundable.
There are a few indoor places.
That's the big word.
A few indoor places to entertain yourself down there.
It is. Okay.
Yes, I've noticed that too.
2nd and 13. Quicks to the near side, and it's incomplete.
Got to catch that.
Yep, trying to come to Zabel.
Yeah, Brandon McCann's had a lot to do with it as well. He seemed to time it out just right on that slant to get there as the ball get there. And he's got a right to it as well. And he's letting him know.
Yeah, that was actually Garrett Carter. My mistake.
Take a look at Brandon there. He's excited, getting the fans excited. I made a play. Let's get it.
3rd and 13 now. Here's where you got to be careful. 3rd and 13.
You got to be careful when you start at your 10-yard line, regardless. I mean, that was a big problem to start this drive.
Yep. You're back on your own 8 here.
And one thing that Spanish Fort is continually doing is bringing pressure right into the face of Silvers.
Hadn't phased him, though.
Play clock. Now they're not going to get it off. Now they're going to be backed up even more.
And somebody's getting a little too cute there. Trying to maybe change the play or getting it in late.
Delay of game. White, 5-yard penalty. We're going to replay.
That'll back him up.
Another chance for Spanish Fort to have a short field, too. We saw how they quickly took advantage of that last time.
Silver's got to be real careful with this one.
Gulf Shores loading up on the penalties here. 3 receivers at the top of the screen. Blitz coming. He's going to keep it. Pitches it to Carroll. And Carroll, a big hit at the 4. Knocked out of bounds. And that was Ronald Smith, the sophomore linebacker, coming over there. And now Silvers will be punting from under his own goalpost.
They lost a lot of players, but they returned a lot of players,
sure,
it looks like, huh?
That's right. They got them reloading there. And Ronald Smith letting them know, hey, I'm here tonight, and I'll be here till the game's over. Take a good look at that young man.
Ball on the near hash, coming to the near side of the field. Just not a lot of room for that play to get going up the sideline.
Exactly right, yes. A small area to develop. I guess he's trying to catch him off guard. Right play against the blitz because they were coming from the left side. Just got players over there like Ronald Smith.
Silver with the directional kick. This one will bounce at the 40 and goes all the way back to midfield. So again, great field position here for the Toros to take over.
Got half the field to work with. He'll take that every down. First down, 1st and 10.
Got a busy night. Boy, missed a great game last night. Davidson and Biger 14-13 with Davidson coming up with the win. And it was a blocked field goal late that did it. Blunt and Bryant tonight, Baker and Theodore, Murphy and Mary G, Baldwin County and Daphne, Fairhope McGill. That's a good one at the lip tonight.
Yes, it is.
Foley and Robertsdale as well. A couple of 1-0 Baldwin County teams going at it. Williamson, Satsuma, Citronelle, LaFleur, St. Paul's and Faith, Escambia County, BC Rain, Jackson, Saraland. How about that one? There's a little history there, too. As they come back to the near side, Johnson showing that speed inside the 40, and there's going to be a flag drop back at the 41, and another one comes in late as well.
It didn't look like much. It looked like they had him hemmed in a little bit, but Johnson used the block, got outside, and then once he can just unleash that speed.
Turn the Jets on. They had him in a bunch formation, and they just stood up and threw it to him, and I tried to read his blocks.
I would think this is 2 infractions, too.
Yeah, I think it's 2 different things that happened here.
Pat Greenwood had a look at it, Pat.
Yeah, one of them is going to be a face mask. The question is that first flag a holding? And yeah, it is. But the second one's going to be a face mask
on the
going
offense,
on here on the tackle.
We had face mask on the defense. They're going to offset. We're going to replay the down.
The other thing, guys, have you noticed the momentum shift? You can only play with so much emotion. It only lasts for so long. Then your athletic ability takes over. And that's not banging on Gulf Shores by any stretch. But Spanish Fort, once they stop that fake punt, it just seems all the momentum shifted over to Spanish Fort.
Yeah, right. A 50-yard field, a short field last time. They've got another short field now. Yep. And so Gulf Shores finds themselves, they're going to have to find some emotion to stay in this game and get to halftime, within a whiff of Spanish Fort.
Excellent point by Greenwood. Emotion only takes you so far. You've just got to turn that emotion into some intensity to take it into the fourth quarter.
Just underway here in quarter number 2. Joel Poe is just a junior, so he's going to be in this offense for a while. Quick one to the near side. A huge hit delivered. I think that was Carlisle that put on.
Brooks Mason.
Yep, it was Brooks Mason. You're right. That was Otis Smith who made the reception out of the slot, and Mason, the junior, wow, he laid it on him.
Yeah, right there in front of him. Hey, take it.
Point about Poe, this is an offense where the quarterback's got to get the ball out of his hands quickly, and not only does he make the reads quickly, he does have a quick release. I mean, he lets it go in a hurry.
5 receivers here for the Toros. Blitz coming in. Poe right up the middle. We'll pick up a few more.
They were nothing but decoys bunched out here on the far side, on our side, I should say. Poe was just going to take it all the way.
Yeah, he had the linebacker on a blitz there, so it was a perfect defense against that call there. So,
yeah, boy, he was coming. Morgan he had it dialed in.
He was going to put some heat on.
3rd down and 7. Play clock just at 10. Poe looks. Scrambles, still looks, has time. Heaves this one off his back foot, looking for Johnson, and he's got him, and he's got a first down.
He commits the Cardinal sin, but makes it happen.
Johnson came all the way across the field, and Poe looked like he was kind of heaving that one up for grabs, but got it to Johnson. That's a good little throw.
Yeah, you never want your quarterback to throw it back against the grain that far unless it's a design play, but it just was open, and
you're right, he was open.
Kept going.
Yeah, and he went through his reads there. I mean, you saw him.
He did, and he also showed a good enough arm to get it there.
That was a tough throw. So a first down for the Toros.
That'll get some gray hairs on those offensive coaches' hair.
Poe on the pitch. Otis Smith sidesteps one tackler, but he's going to be dropped for a loss. The ball comes loose. Picked up as a pop loose, and Ryan Morgan has got it at the 30, inside the 20, inside the 15 for Gulf Shores.
Got a game now. Wow, what a play.
Pat Greenwood was talking about momentum swings. That's going to be huge for the Dolphins.
Right after the big conversion on the 3rd down.
And Deion Johnson showed his Jets there to just run him back down. I mean, the ball comes out. Good defensive guy to pick it up and advance the football. But Deion Johnson says, hey, come back here. You're not going to score. I mean, he's got speed to burn, and he's plenty to catch him.
Pat Greenwood.
Yeah, that's that momentum turn we were talking about, fellas, because you saw how that Gulf Shore sideline was just kind of standing there a little while ago. Take a look at them now. They're all active over there.
Yeah, they're going to take a timeout to kind of get themselves under control. Ben Blackman, the young coach, saying, all right, this is a big point in this game here.
Absolutely.
We'll take a timeout. calm it down, so we'll do it as well. 9:34 to go, 7-0 Spanish Fort. The Dolphins got it down around the 15.
This is the UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week.
Come over here. You got the deep fryers, your grill. You're going to take this and scrape off all the dripping. Follow me. And the grease goes in here. All of it? Not all of it.
Get deep flavor without the deep fryer. The new Subway Oven Crisp Chicken. Always baked, never fried. It's a taste breakthrough and part of a Subway Fresh Fit meal.
Even in the old days, drinking and driving was not a good idea. Drinking and driving is a story without a happy ending.
This is the UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week.
Those are not the clouds rolling off the Gulf of Mexico. It's the big barbecue they got going here at Spanish Fort.
Let's not be confused.
Although the rest of the weekend, those will be clouds you see rolling in like that.
But for now,
at the 15, the Dolphins, after the big return by Ryan Morgan on the fumble from Otis Smith. Silver going to keep it right up the middle, and he'll push it to about the 11. Ronald Smith wrote him down, and now a flag at the end of the play. Wow, that was very late.
I think there's a lot of, extra stuff going on, yapping and shoving.
And these officials want to get that under control quick, I'm sure. We can have a good, clean football.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the defense. Half the distance to the goal.
Ooh, that's on the Toros. Pat Greenwood was right down there.
Yeah, what they're doing, guys, it's not really that chippy, but they're just trying to make a statement. In fact, when they were in the timeout, the referee came over to the Spanish Fort huddle, said you got to get on the other side of the 25. One of the guys didn't want to do it. The referee didn't take too kindly to it. And so, there's just a tad bit of chippiness there, but they're going to call it and make sure it stops right now.
Even Money Greenwood gets a flag tonight. I mean, he's already been called on the carpet for being in the box.
Well, anybody can be ornery. It's Pat Greenwood, who currently is working 11 jobs. That doesn't count checkers at the loop. Do that on the weekend. Make ends meet.
So second and short. Now look at this formation.
Take a look at this.
How about the 3-yard splits we got going here, Vic?
Yeah, something new.
Silvers dances to the outside, steps around one hit, gets down to the 1. And it's going to be first and goal for the Dolphins. And here comes another penalty in. Another helmet came popping off as well. This Spanish Fort team last year certainly played on the edge. They were a team that would go right to the line.
They edged their way right to the state championship.
Absolutely.
The dead ball, personal foul on the defense. Half the distance to the goal.
Well, the referees seem to be making a statement to the Toros that whatever they're doing,
let's see if we can see what happened.
Is unacceptable.
Did he rip the helmet off of the player? I didn't see that. The helmet seemed to just come off. But no problem. Oh, I see there. Yeah, giving him the business under the pile.
The legendary call from the NFL fans.
Giving the business.
Giving him the business.
Yeah, high school level.
First and goal.
Our kids emulate the professionals.
Again, Jim, like we needed to throw any more grease on this fire here.
You're right. Yeah. Stick around.
Yeah. Game of the week indeed.
You may need the paddy wagon before it's over.
First and goal on the sneak. Silver's trying to get in.
Let's see if his second effort did it.
Wow. And now they call touchdown. Took him a while to determine that he went 6 inches.
Yeah, well, he got stalled there real quick on the snap. It didn't go clean, and then he kept his legs driving and kind of slid around the end. And
Silver taking
it in there.
He's glaring over at the Spanish Fort bench like I was in.
Parts of Parts of this game will appear in Death in the Press Box by Dan Brennan, I can promise you.
Take a look. Yeah,
the effort again.
Yeah, he got his second for him. Yeah, they're just playing football. That's a good no call by the refs.
Gosh,
Touchdown Silver.
We got something going on here tonight, though.
As my mother would say, a nice little tussle.
This is a tussle.
Josh Carroll on for the PAT to try to tie this game. Boy, a turnover, huge momentum changer in this contest.
We've had two big momentum changers, one in Spanish Fort's favor and one in Gulf Shore's favor.
Left-footed kicker here, Carroll. No good. 7-6, the Toros keep the lead, but we got a good one going at the fort. 9 minutes left in this one. This was the play that set up the touchdown for Gulf Shores. They're within one on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. Six here in Spanish Fort. The Dolphins and the Toros battling.
Battling indeed.
Tussling. And let's get on to Pat Greenwood.
Yeah, Coach Mark Freeman was asking for an explanation, saying, what the heck were the penalties for? And the explanation was everything that's happening after the whistle. Look, fellas, as soon as that whistle blows, they're not going to tolerate anything. So you can imagine the Spanish Fort coaches made very clear to their players, that whistle blows, you let it go.
We'll see. They made it very clear. We'll see if those instructions are followed to a T. Carroll has this one bounce around the 12. This is McCants. And he gets across the 35 and a shot right there after the whistle, and that was Ryan Morgan. And now Spanish Fort sideline saying, hey, that was after the whistle.
Yeah, just a little bit going on. You know, these guys, as we said, you know, they're playing an emotional game. This sort of stuff happens, but it'll get settled down. They'll get down to business and, you know, play a good, clean football game.
That's Brandon McCants who was down. Let's take a look at the replay here.
See what happens.
Jonathan Cook.
Oh,
yeah.
Got rolled up on. Yeah.
Oh, right away. Morgan blocked Cook into him as he was going down.
Nothing to do with the tackle. It was just a block. Oh, wow.
And prayerfully, it's nothing serious. That young man
he was just kind of
bystander.
Prone on the, he was prone on the field and got rolled up on.
Mm-hmm.
And you just never know what position your ankle, knee is in when that happens.
And it's the word, you know, he's looking ahead and it comes kind of from behind when you're not expecting it. Ooh, that is silence the crowd a bit here. So watch this again. Look at the bottom right of your screen.
That's a young guy already on the field.
Hopefully it's just you hope it's just like a hyperextension that is able to.
He looks better.
Yeah, good. He's standing up, going off on his own power.
Ooh, you know, you forget sometimes it's a 15, 16-year-old kid, and you know, it's scary when something hurts.
You're right.
They're like gladiators out there, and we forget about it sometimes.
You're right. They pop those helmets off, then you get a look, and you say, wow.
Hey, Jim and Dan, this is full contact South Alabama football.
It's pretty good
just
stuff.
a reminder.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Baldwin County style. At the 36, Poe with Autry in the backfield. Deion Johnson in the slot, number 9. He's been the go-to guy tonight. They look that way again, and he's got it. And he's bumped out of bounds about the 42.
Oh, sure is accurate.
Yeah, just like Dan said, you know, they stand up and get rid of the football real quick. Keep the chains moving.
Here's our Spring Hill Toyota scoring summary. 3 plays, 15 yards, 36 seconds after the big fumble recovered by Ryan Morgan. And Silvers goes in for the score. 2nd and 3, Poe to Johnson. A little bubble screen we've seen a lot. And he gets close to the first down. Going to be about a yard short. He'll bring up 3rd and short.
There again.
They got a hey guys in. Well, we got a second here. Willis Wilcox watching this game tonight says, Rady Friday night football time with the Friday night game of the week in my family. And I know his son Walker turns 7 tomorrow. So happy birthday to young Walker Wilcox. Up the left side, this is Autry, and he's going to get to the line and then slung back down by Morgan. How about the game Ryan Morgan's having tonight?
I'm loving it. He's here to play football.
And he's a little slow to get up after that one.
He gets the back in his grasp there, and the back don't want to go down.
Yeah, that was,
hey, I'll get you down.
Mason,
how about that?
Yeah, Mason stood him up, and then Morgan came in to finish him off, but he is going to get the first down. See Ed Autry back there, splits time with Otis Smith in the backfield. 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Poe gives it off. Autry right up the middle. He's got a big hole, and there's that great playmaking ability that Dan spoke of, and Autry inside the 25.
Yeah, Gulf Shores got smart there, and they just kind of spread them out a little bit, and they got Morgan out of the middle there, and there's some room in there. And just coming straight up the gut, spin out of 2 tackles, keep going upfield, north and south.
Parker Mason missed that tackle, and that allowed Autry to get down to about the 24-yard line.
Maybe that was just a good read by Poe at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just take a look by alignment. You can see they split Morgan out here. He's splitting the difference in the receiver, the tackling guy. Hey, they just going to give it all day up there, keep it in the middle.
Poe keeps it inside the 20 to the 19.
Stargell.
Hey, trivia question, guys. This is a good one. Gulf Shores accomplished something for the first time in school history with their win last week when they won by a score of 9-6 over Robertsdale. What was it they had never done before? They'd gone 33 games prior to that without doing it. It's just a little hint for you. It's coming up from our friends at Encore. Poe pulls it down. Looks to get a block. Gets a great block on the far side from Blaine Crane.
Brings the crowd to their feet with that block, huh, Jim?
Boy, he saw him coming the whole way. And it's a first down for the Toros. What a block by the junior receiver.
Crane had an 80-yard touchdown last week, so here's a guy that can score for you and also do this. What a great block.
Catch it here.
It's going to be on the right side of your screen.
Right there. D. Cleater.
That'll get some cheers at the film session.
Oh, man.
Next week, Vic.
They'll run that back 3 or 4 times, I can assure you.
That looked like a Chevy and a doe on Highway 31. Sorry if I'm too graphic for some of the audience, but the picture was graphic enough, wasn't it?
Jeez, we've got, dolphin sushi jokes going here. Well, we got,
Peter's going to be outside of the press box in a minute.
Yeah, oh, they're always welcome.
1st and 10 for the Toros. The play clock down at 5.
And just by alignment, they're getting Gulf Shores in a defense they like.
Boy, that just wasn't coming together there.
Yeah, they were trying to change the play, I think, at the end.
Pat Greenwood.
We talked about that block by Blaine Crane. That's not bad for a son of a defensive coach, right? Of course, his dad, the linebackers coach at South Alabama, Kurt Crane, who was a pretty good linebacker in his day at Auburn. But watching his son do it on the offensive side of the ball, he's got to be happy about that one.
Yeah,
he is here on the sidelines, too, by the way.
He likes that more than that 85-yard touchdown run he had last week.
Yeah, just thinking, he was not just a good one, he was an all-SEC linebacker.
Poe to the near side. Johnson cuts it back inside and be hit and wrapped up. Michael Hanich
coming from that defensive end position.
You got to have wideouts that block well in this offense, Vic.
Yeah, no doubt about it, because all these offenses, they're starting. Just like Jim was talking earlier, they seem to live and die by these bubble screens. It's definitely in the playbook every week, and they're going to use it. I would say at least 6 or 7 times in a ball game. But you're right. You got to learn to block.
2nd and 12.
Can't just catch touchdowns, huh?
Wouldn't that be nice, though? In a perfect world.
We'll get a flag on the far side.
There's been nothing wrong with this game tonight. Could the offense move too quickly?
Yeah,
so where Gulf Shores was dominating in penalties earlier, that's all starting to even out.
Got a score to pass along. Fairhope on top of McGill, 7-0 after 1. Scott Symes sending that to us from Robertsdale. Appreciate Scott sending that in. So we'll take a timeout as well. We'll come back. We've got a couple emails we'll get to. Also, we got a big second down coming up for the Toros. They're driving. 6 minutes to go in the second. It's a good one here at the Fort. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Pat Greenwood down the sideline. Jared Kihas doing a spectacular job in the truck for us here tonight. Our UTV 44 game of the week, 2nd and 20. Joel Poe looks over the middle. He's got it, but just incomplete. That one just overthrown as he was trying to get it to Chasen Milner. Just a yard over his head.
Yeah, had him there in the seam, right? He had what he wanted, Vic.
Yeah, he was going out of that slot position. Sometimes those slot receivers can get lost in the defense, and he was open.
Mark Freeman told us on the field, Dan, that we had a couple plays. We had them last week. We just didn't execute. That might have been one of them. Yep.
Yeah.
It happens.
3rd and 20.
But if the offense made all the plays they should have made, they'd have to build new scoreboards every week. So
defense has something to do with it, too.
Oh, with a pump fake, looking on the far side, and he's got it. Did he hold it? Yes, touchdown Toros. Matthew Harris. Well, the officials just didn't want to give him credit for that one.
Back shoulder, too. He goes to the back shoulder, Vic Lockett.
Yeah, he's running down the field just man on man, and it's hard for the corner sometimes to find the football, didn't get his head around, and if you take a look at it.
Little ball fake here?
Yeah. He's running, but it's too late to adjust to it. No good to tackle him in the end zone.
Yep, Billy Harris with the score. Billy Harris's brother actually is his brother, Matthew Harris, made the touchdown, and Billy Harris on the Auburn team going to be dressing out tomorrow.
How about they've got 3 former Toros from last year dressing out for Auburn tomorrow.
We'll talk about that when we come back. Great shot looking at the end zone here at the Fort. 14-6, Spanish Fort on top of Gulf Shores. Spanish Fort answers back after the Gulf Shores touchdown. They reclaim they had the lead at 7-6. Now it's 14-6. Impressive drive led by Joel Poe, the quarterback.
Yeah, Joel Poe, the quarterback who was competing with Matt Hall in preseason for the quarterback job. It wasn't just handed to him. And there's a lot to pick up in Mark Freeman's offense. And it looks like he is ahead of schedule in figuring the whole thing out.
It's Eric Jaggy sends this one through the end zone. Hey, we've got some more emails. I want to get to one quickly here. This was Selena. She sent it from her iPad. It was actually her iPad, but she said, sorry to hear about Greenwood being kept to the restricted area. She said, glad to have you all at the Hill. She gave up her ticket tonight so she could watch the game from her sofa and enjoy the rain. A big hello to the other Spanish Fort and Gulf Shores moms. And she also said a very special hello to number 99 as well, Vic Lockett.
Isn't that nice?
How about that, Pat Greenwood?
Oh, yeah. It is an iPad. I didn't tell you about my other job.
That's coming.
I've created the iPad.
You need to clone the iPad for some of those jobs you have. Silver's pressure is going to be dropped back inside the 10.
Well, Selena's going to like that, having that sack going there. A big hello to her. Matt Hall back there.
Yeah, that's a guy. Then he was competing for the quarterback job, or at least getting some reps in the summertime. But good athlete. They got to get him on the field somewhere. Matt Hall, young linebacker.
Well, that's what you do in high school. You get the best athletes on the field and play with them.
Second and very, very long. And now we've opened up the Greenwood email floodgates. We'll get back to that momentarily. It's Brandon Silvers. Tucks it himself this time and out to about the 15. So 3rd and a little manageable here. It's going to be about 3rd and 5.
I bet Coach Freeman would like to see that done a lot tonight.
Hey, Dan made the point earlier as we look at our Spring Hill Toyota scoring summary. 9 plays, 64 yards. 3 minutes and 10 seconds on the drive.
That looks more like 3rd and 15 or so. I'm not sure where...
Yeah, you're right.
All the lost yardage came from.
Yeah, on the sack.
Okay. Sack, was that much? I guess I was just so enthralled with Selena on the sofa.
A little trickery.
Inside to Josh Carroll, and he'll get it back to the original line of scrimmage. That was my mistake, so it'll bring up 4th down here. Dan had mentioned about you could see both these teams coach so well, and really just the quarterbacks reflecting that in the decision-making they're making on both sides of the ball.
Well, that's just how it goes. Hey, the guy that touches the ball the most can really affect the outcome of the game. And, these coaches will tell you quick. We were talking last week, Jimmy's and Joe's. That Joe's up at quarterback.
Yeah.
He can make you or break you real quick.
Jonathan Cook just around midfield. Silvers with a punt that'll get just to about midfield. Roll back to about the 47.
And again, Spanish Fort starts right at midfield.
They've been there all night.
Yeah, they sure have. They've had the field position's been on their side. And now with 3 and some change left before the half, they've got it in a spot where they can tack on some more points.
Coach Freeman's not complaining.
No, I bet he's not.
Hey, want to thank our title sponsor, Subway. Play hard, eat fresh, Subway. Of course, we thank them, our big title sponsor all year long here on high school football on UTV 44. Lots of sponsors this year. Of course, nobody bigger than our friends at Subway. Stop by in the Subway restaurants, Mobile, Baldwin County, Monroeville, anywhere up there.
Sure.
Thomasville.
Eat healthy, man.
I'm not sure that's what we did in the pregame we had up here in the booth.
I know it's not.
Poe pulls it down, and he'll cross midfield and drops the shoulder and moves it to the 45.
Makes a good decision. Tyler Starger, who had a beat on him and coming from the end, and he steps up in the pocket and just keeps going and get all he can get out of the play. No receivers open.
Connor Martin banged with Poe there. Pickup of 6. Boy, if Spanish Fort could put one in here with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's big.
This is Otis Smith. He has the first down, but it's going to come back for a hold. Is Smith at the 35, and that's going to wipe out the long run.
Just what Jim said. One of the linemen caught with the infraction. As you take a look at the run,
nothing drives a coach more crazy, too, Vic. You get a play that goes around the right side, and the holding call is on the far hash way away from the play.
Not going to have an effect on the play at all, but the ref still got to do his job and call it. Never know when he's going to come back. But you hate that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's trying to hold Stargell because he's the King Kong.
I would.
He's the King Kong out there. Yeah, I mean.
Hold, claw, scratch.
Right.
I would tell the official before the game I was going to do it. Poe looking. Wants to air it out over the middle. Just zings that one, and he'll get it back into Gulf Show's territory as he goes to Matthew Harris, his second catch of the night. Matt's brother, we talked about playing up at Auburn. Dan alluded as we watched the replay to the 3 former Toros.
Yeah, he goes to his third option, Dan. I think he's got this offense.
Yeah.
And he knew where to look.
Exactly.
He shouldn't be here. He's not here. Oh, there he is. He's open.
And then he really lets it go, too. But, yeah, the Spanish Fort Auburn connection is alive and well.
And Coach Freeman saw something he didn't like, quickly times it out.
We'll talk about that one second. Of course, what a story. I mean, Vic, you played in the SEC. Anytime someone starts as a true freshman, that's such a great accomplishment. But to have Reese Dismuke start as a center as a true freshman, to go from here to there.
Correct. Yeah.
Whew.
And those coaches always say the closer you get to the football, the tougher it is to play, and especially starting as a freshman. And it's going to start with him.
Yep.
After the kickoff, he gets the offense going every play.
Yeah.
All right, let's tell you about our friends at Spring Hill Toyota, another sponsor of high school football here on UTV 44. Check out the certified used vehicles at springhilltoyota.com. You can also build your own Toyota there. Great used cars as well. Spring Hill Toyota there on Government Boulevard. Can't miss them in Mobile. And thanks to all of our friends at Spring Hill Toyota. Also,
good folks right there.
Yeah, Reese Dismuke starting at center for Auburn. Daniel Pond, the outside linebacker from the Spanish Fort team, made the cut up there, and along with Billy Harris we talked about. And how about number 25 for Texas Tech starting this weekend? Blake Dees, the linebacker, who is just something else to watch here in Toro territory.
He was an outside backer here. Remember, he lost about 20 pounds going into his senior year to pick up some quickness, put the weight back on for Tommy Tuberville out of Lubbock, and will start at middle linebacker for the Red Raiders.
He's going to have some fun.
3rd and 5. Poe with all kinds of time. Johnson is open on the near side. Poe finally gets it to him, and Johnson holds on. Let's see the spot. Who is it going to be close?
The spot is not favorable to Johnson.
Johnson was open a long time. Poe just couldn't get it to him because of the pressure.
Right. He's running around, can't set his feet, and finally just lets it go.
Yeah, he had a little time, and then he finally lets it go. And look at Johnson. I like how he just plays above the rim there and go gets the football.
Yeah, it's actually going to be 4th and about a yard. Got a shot there on Mark Freeman.
I think Poe's got some confidence in throwing it out there to Johnson.
I think he should.
Hey, I think more so for Mark Freeman than Ben Blackman on the other side over there. I think he'll be ready for this week and this game to be over, Dan.
Yeah, I really get that impression. I mean, it's been a high emotional toll on Freeman because, he leaves a program in Gulf Shores. He's got a quarterback that, he believed in and helped balloon his numbers because Silver's in this Spanish Fort type offense that he was involved with had a great season last year. You have a connection with the kids and I'm your guy, and then suddenly you make a career move, and again, feelings are hurt.
4th down coming up. Let's tell you about some more of our sponsors here on high school football. The Orthopedic Group, they have been with us for a long time on Friday nights as well, all night long. Tim Cockrell's been around here. He's always busy at Spanish Fort thanks to Cockrell's Body Shop and Tyndall Credit Union. There's one right here in Spanish Fort on Highway 31. They're all around Mobile and Baldwin County, and big supporter of high school football here on UTV 44, so we thank them for getting involved along with all of our sponsors. And 4th down,
big decision or no-brainer?
Well, it's a big decision, but at the same time, I think you do go for it because this Gulf Shores offense hasn't really threatened you too much.
At the 43,
if you don't get it, and Gulf Shores has got good field position, or the odds are they're going to be able to take advantage of it.
It'll be the first time.
It'll be the first time, right?
4th and 1. And they'll go Wildcat with Johnson. And he'll take it trying to get around the end. Goes to the corner, uses that speed, and he's got the first down.
Speed to burn. Just all-around sweep from the get-go.
And you saw, the Gulf Shores player had the angle on him, but just can't get around that speed.
No, I mean, you think you've got the angle on him, but with Johnson, you don't. And that's a well-coached team again. You say, okay, we got to get it to him.
Mm-hmm. He's using his athleticism, trying to set him up, and he does, and successfully gets around the corner.
At the 38. This is Otis Smith. He sheds a tackle, and then he lowers his shoulder and gets inside the 25.
Yeah, Otis has got some shake about him and fluidity, so he's using it to get up the field with it, and then he'll deliver a blow at the end.
And now you see the tempo. Mark Freeman wanting to get these Toros moving quickly again as they bring Smith out, and Autry comes into the backfield.
This offense has been lining up in formation all night and getting to play from the sideline, so this is no change for them. This is just business as usual, even though there's small time on the clock.
Oh, gives it to Autry up the middle, and Autry, he does some banging inside the 10-5. Touchdown, Toros.
That's the second time Autry has struck right up the gut.
Yep.
Well, just by formation, they're lining up in a formation that is making the defense have to line up and spread out, and the middle is just wide open as you take a look there. One guy tries to make one tackle, and he goes through that, then he goes through another, dive for the end zone, stretching out. Touchdown, points on the board.
Once he got by Chris Carlisle right at the point of attack, Carlisle was fighting off a block, and Autry bust through an attempted tackle, and it was just about over from that point.
Yep.
And the formation lines Ryan Morgan out, so, hey, he's a tackler. They're loving it.
Yeah, he's a tackler out of position.
Correct, yeah. They're going to stay with that till they make the halftime adjustment.
Theodore makes it 21-6. I think Spanish Fort would have maybe like to use a little more time. Not going to be greedy, but I think they would have loved to just seen the clock go down further. But
I think they're happy to get the 21-6 lead now. And, again, you're going to put this Gulf Shores team into a position where
they're in
playing
chase mode.
Yeah, and
not where you want to be.
No, not where anybody wants to be.
In the other team's stadium.
Yeah.
You got more Hey Guys. Don't forget Hey Guys at UTV 44. You can send us emails. We get them right up here in the booth. And Chuck Dart, who he's emailed us over the years, if I'm not mistaken, a Murphy graduate. He's commenting about how these teams do not like each other very much. And then he says, hi to Pat Greenwood from me. They love him over there at Christ United Methodist Church. And I'll clean it up for the air, but it was something
Wait a second,
about
the guy from Christ
no, well, he
Church.
just sort of a challenge
Is that
for
a dirty letter?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
For Greenwood to come play hoops over there.
Oh, okay.
And kind of emphasize any time as like we're waiting for you, Greenwood.
Wow.
They're ready, I can go. I'm getting older.
You got your high tops on right now, Greeny, so
That's
you can
true.
take him after the game.
These are the wrong high tops. These are my rain high tops. But we're ready. Hey, Chuck, let's come on. We'll go. Right around the corner. Come on.
Yeah, that's it. Hey guys at UTV44.com.
Take me out there with you, Pat, and set up Father Time out at the three-point line. That's me.
Don't expect much of the defensive end from Brennan. I'm just gonna say that.
Not when I was 17 and not now.
They give it to Carroll, and Carroll up the right side. Look at this. Carroll across midfield and knocked out of bounds. And good field position for Gulf Shores here with 48 seconds left.
Suddenly you're prophetic saying they left too much time on the clock.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jim's seen a few football games, right?
He has.
Yeah, if he'd have made a move on the punter, they would have been, or the kicker, they would have been in a real bind.
But Josh Carroll that's what you get. That's the way he is at running back. We talked about his speed and kind of returning kicks. I mean, he's not the speed guy who's going to outrun. He's going to crash and bang.
North and south.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so gets him to the 45.
Yeah, he tried to crash the kicker, and the kicker wasn't having much of it.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen for Brandon Silvers. Silvers dumps it back the near side to Twilly, and Twilly, who had 81 catches last year, now down to the 37.
Looked like he had something there, but the defense just collapsed on him.
That's Tilly, my mistake.
This is a fast defense. I know they had to replace a lot of guys, but they can
look
get
fast
after it.
there.
Yeah.
See the scoring summary there by Spring Hill Toyota as Autry with a touchdown run. Stop the clock after the first down.
Well executed play there by Brandon Silvers. Let's see if he can keep it going here. 36 seconds left. Just enough time to work with.
As they wind the clock.
Toros sure bring a lot of people up near the line of scrimmage, that's for sure.
And they're bringing them.
Silvers comes back to the near side, and Tilly falls down, and he's saying, I did not catch that. Smart play by the veteran saying, I didn't catch it.
No, they say he did.
Well, the guy on this side, official on this side, says no.
Calls him in the burner timeout.
Lose some. They're going to lose some clock if.
Yeah, the official on this side said no, he did not catch it, and Tilly was saying, no, I dropped it. Look, I didn't. I had 81 last year. I don't need to try to get a cheap one this year.
Yeah, that was not one you want to catch, right?
Yeah, that was one of the cases, like you pointed out, Dan. I think he threw it off his back foot, trying to use his athleticism and strength, and didn't get enough on it. So the receiver ended up trying to scuff it on the ground.
Right. I mean, it really was a game. It was a throw that if Tilly can think it all through, doesn't want to catch.
Sure.
Hey, in addition to emailing us up in the booth, you can also like our page on Facebook. Go to UTV44 High School Football Game of the Week on Facebook. You get people talking about the game during the game on Facebook.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Just, all interactive and all as it's happening.
Again, all season long, the game's live on Friday, replayed on Saturday nights at 7 o'clock. So we just want to remind you, if you email us on Saturday, we will not respond.
It's going to be a while.
It will be.
Maybe the following week.
Maybe the following Friday. Right. Try to take advantage of that big return, Jim.
Yep, Gulf Shores now with 1 timeout left, which could be big. This one at the 38. Silver steps up, wants to float this one to Carroll, and he's got him inside the 15 and a flag as well.
Good pass. A little touch on it. Just let it sail right down into the receiver's hand. He climbs up there and pulls it down.
Dropped it right in the hole.
Yeah.
Carroll and Shane English. Now watch Carroll. It looks like he's doing a pretty good job to keep English away from him as well.
Yeah, I think he made a little interference. Had him around the neck, trying to make a play on the ball. But that's how you coach there. You get that left arm on the receiver and then the free arm to bat the ball down. And if you don't bat it down, you pull him down with that left arm.
And he did it all.
He did it all. It's a little bit too early.
All right, now you got to be very aware of the clock with just 11.9 seconds left. You do have 1 timeout.
Yeah, 1 timeout, okay.
Of course, they'll decline the penalty.
I just like the fact that Silvers has got a big arm. And he's also got good vision, and he's got touch.
Yeah. That's what
and poise.
You had to go.
Poise, yeah.
And like we said last year, 2,699 yards, 26 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think it's just something about being a tall guy out there, and it exudes the confidence, and you're confident because you're seeing everything, and that's just what he's doing.
Silver's pressure coming, able to get away, look into the right side, and now he's going to throw that one out. Oh, and the clock goes all the way out at 11.9 seconds. That play took 12 seconds.
Didn't seem like it. And that little hometown runoff there, Jim.
Oh, that was close. That was...
Wow.
I think the referees concurred. Go to the half.
Hard to believe that thing.
Anybody.
It's hard to believe that play took 12 seconds.
Yeah, it really is. Let's go to Pat Greenwood. Pat.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Coach kind of dodged a bullet there with that last play, but a heck of a stop for you.
It is. It's just it's a motion-packed game, and we were going to be nervous coming out. We knew it. We finally settled down, started running football a little bit, and we're just young. It takes a little while to get into it. Gulf Shore's playing good. It's a good football game, and our kids, they've responded to everything we've asked them to do so far, so I can't complain.
And how big was that last touchdown?
That's huge. I mean, we were running football on them, and we were trying to fix and set some up off that run, and had a great run. Ed made a great run on it. So, everything right now is about where we thought it would be, and if we could just play good ball second half, we got a chance.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. We appreciate it. And one thing we didn't talk about, folks, is the defense. Tell you what, minus that big turnover, that Spanish Fort defense has been really, really good tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Pat Greenwood, good point. But yeah, you can tell Mark Freeman, he's not going to have much voice left in the fourth quarter.
He didn't have much voice left pregame.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, every week, we vote on the player of the game, and you could do that. You'll have 3 choices this week to decide who is going to be the player of the game. We'll give you a couple of choices. It'll go up on the UTV44 website, and you'll be able to take a look. And we'll look at our player of the game from last week. McGill Tulin. Trey Roberts, of course, was the player of the game. He was player of the game on defense a year ago. Yeah. And you making the proclamation the first time in UTV 44 history that a player has won it on both sides of the ball.
I like to make up history. It's not a big deal. And I believe that would be the case, that if you got the guy winning it on both sides of the ball, we've never had that before.
Yeah, and tonight we'll have your players up there at UTV44TV.com. UTV44.com. Am I right? I'll read it right. UTV44.com. We've only been here for like 10 years
Say
now.
that 50 times.
I think I have so far tonight.
I'd like them to say it once so we can go to break.
All right, let's take a time. We'll come back. We'll have the Gulf Shores Band. It's the high school football game of the week here on UTV 44. Halftime, let's go down to the field now. The Gulf Shores Band going back to 1984 with some Van Halen and Jump. M&S Music halftime show here on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. The Gulf Shores Band was great. Spanish Fort Toros marching band on the field now at the half. Our halftime score here in Spanish Fort. The Toros on top of the Dolphins, and Vic Lockett, Dan Brennan, Jim Cox, Pat Greenwood's down on the sidelines. And really, I think this is what we kind of thought we were going to get, and you kind of thought it might get this way because of the playmakers that Spanish Fort has, and that's kind of been the difference so far.
Yeah, a lot of intensity on both sides of the ball, I think. Everybody's brought their A game in terms of they want to get at it, but the playmakers that Spanish Fort has, they've been able to trump some of the things and some of the effort that Gulf Shores has displayed tonight. More big plays for Spanish Fort.
Yeah, Autry, when he's come in, he's been the guy who's gashed it up the middle a couple of times, and of course he had the big turnover that was really a big part of this first game. First half, as we look at the stats, just 2 first downs for Gulf Shores, and Pat alluded to that, the great defense that the Toros have been playing so far, and we've seen Spanish Fort throw it around like you would expect. 11-13 for Poe after the big week last week, 87 yards. A lot of penalties in this game, and of course turnovers have not been a factor thus far, but 217 yards of total offense, what you would expect out of a Mark Freeman offense.
Yeah, it's a Mark Freeman offense where the quarterback has got to make quick decisions, and in Poe, it looks like this kid is probably 3 or 4 weeks ahead of schedule. First year running this offense, that's good news for the Toros.
Oh, sure, and he's been precise with the football. He's been going to his second and third reads even and making plays, and just like you said, getting it out of his hand real quick.
All right, let's go down to Pat Greenwood on the sidelines. Pat.
All right, thanks, guys. Just got a chance to talk with Coach Ben Blackman of Gulf Shores High School. He's putting a lot of emphasis on what happens immediately at the start of the second half. He says their offense has to do something to get the defense off the field. He likes their effort. He likes the way they're working, but he says something has to happen now because otherwise they're going to get he says this ballgame is going to get out of hand if they don't.
Yeah, without doubt. Pat Greenwood down on the sidelines. We'll quickly pass along some other scores to you here at the half. Fairhope on top of McGill-Tulane 28-7. Talk about how impressive Fairhope has been thus far.
That's an impressive one on the road.
Yep.
Crossing the bay over at McGill.
UMS on top of W.S. Neal, big 37-0 at the half. Murphy all over Mary Montgomery, 48-6 at the half. Baker leads Theodore 13-7 in the third. Daphne leading Baldwin County in the third as well, 17-7. As we take a look at some of the other folks bringing us high school football here on this Friday night. Also one other score, Foley on top of Robertsdale. That's 10-0 at the half.
Well, these coaches across the state, they're just trying to find out where they are and how they're doing, and it's just second game.
Well, thank UJ Chevrolet for being a supporter of high school football. Boy, they've been here since day one, Danny.
They sure have. Uncle Bud in the group.
Yep, and Heritage Homes, Frank Lott and all his fine folks building homes all over the Panhandle here, and Chris Smith at Smith Industrial Service, big St. Paul's Saints fan, and thanks to Smitty for being part of high school football. Wes Williams keeping us updated on the McGill score tonight, and his boys out at Will too. Metal fabrication, maintenance, all those things that you and I really don't understand at all.
Yeah,
Dan.
well, I have it down a little bit. I won't say all the way. You know what? And you mentioned about St. Paul's. That's another team that maybe we'll get a chance to see at some point during our schedule. And Viger, a couple of teams in 5A, along with Spanish Fort, that are going to make a lot of noise this year. Of course, Spanish Fort defending champs. It's hard to look at this team and realize, if you had just come here without the prior knowledge, how many seniors they graduated from last year's team. I mean, they look like a very talented team this year.
And you're talking about the defending state champions.
Yeah.
So, you got a little carryover from that momentum going into this season, and I'm sure, they want to continue that, even though there's been a change at the head coaching job. He wants to pick up where they left off and continue on into the future with a good program.
Take a look at the good crowd showing up on both sides of the field here this evening for our high school football game of the week. Next week at Blunt and Murphy. That ought to be a battle, huh?
Oh, man, that's going to be some speed on the field that night. We'll be out there at Blunt, and that'll be a huge crowd for that one.
Yeah, I'm excited about going back out there to Pritchard and watching a good football game, and two proud programs, the biggest school in Mobile still, Murphy High School, and Blunt, the pride, one of the schools out in Pritchard, the pride out there in that alumni association. So it'll be a fun one. Coach Sieg, Bama coach, and Coach Samuels, the offensive coordinator, another Bama player, I should say.
Yeah, he's new to the program. Of course, just did retire, and he is a surefire, I guess most would say, first ballot Hall of Fame guy.
No question.
And I hear he's doing great things over there with that offensive line, from just the talk on the streets around.
Well, he should know. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, All-American at Bama, one of the top picks in the draft when he came out, and then a perennial All-Pro player.
Dominant. I mean, he was just dominant. Now we're ready to start the third quarter.
Brandon Silvers, it's time to get the offense moving. I know he's going to need some help from the people around him, but this is a really good-looking quarterback. Let's see if he can put a little scare into the Toros.
This is going to be the biggest test he's had as a senior here. What about the ambiance here in Spanish Fort? Just a great place to come for a high school football game.
Really is.
Small college atmosphere. That's what it feels like.
Carroll will take this one right on the goal line. Out at the 10, it's a little bit of a seam on the far side, and out to the 26, and this is where Gulf Shores will start. Don't forget, at the end of tonight's game, you'll be able to go to utv44.com, and you'll get a chance to vote on who you want the player of the game to be. Give you 3 choices. Then next week at halftime, we'll hear from that player, show you some highlights of what he accomplished in tonight's game. So check that out tonight. That all brought to you by folks at Greer's. You got some friends at Greer's, Vic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Greer sells food. I mean, look at my man here.
Yeah, we're talking about old Robert Greer. He's a great guy, even though he's an
Auburn guy. No,
guy.
Look at you, crossing party lines.
You've grown, Vic. This is Carroll out to the 30.
Carroll's just like an earth mover, just little here, little there.
Picks up 5.
Speaking of which, what a performance we saw in the second half last night by Kendall Houston of the University of South Alabama, a guy that we watched play at Viger. And just a fun guy to watch carry the football, because he just drives and gets yards you don't really think are there.
Tommy Hicks sent out a tweet during the game last night, of course, writes for the Press Register about how Kendall Houston just carried 7 West Alabama players for about 9 yards. As right up the middle goes Carroll, and look at this. Carroll trying to get to the outside, and he's got a big hole. Carroll inside the 30 looking for a block. Carroll will cut it back, and he's inside the 10. First and goal, Gulf Shores.
You know, I knew they needed to establish the run here to keep all that pressure up Silvers.
And if you can see in the replay here, I'll tell you, he gets a block from number 9, Alec, and he just buries this guy from the wide receiver position to spring him at the last moment.
And then Brandon Davis doing a good job downfield as well.
Lucky he didn't get a flag on the hit in the back there, but I guess not enough damage done. Carroll, you know, he's got to catch a little breath now.
Yeah, he needs some oxygen, but give credit to Jonathan Cook staying with the play and hustling downfield to tackle him.
Well, we knew what a big drive this was going to be for Gulf Shores.
And there's your answer, guys.
Yeah, how about it?
Yeah, picks up 5 on the first carry.
Yeah, it looks like,
excuse
me, Jim, but looked like Coach Blackman just went back to basics.
And they give it right back to him. And trying to strip the ball free were the Toros, but he held on to it. That's, you know, Carroll's kind of like, I just need a breather.
Yeah, a little surprised they gave it to him again because, oh, look at the penetration. Wow.
Yeah, nothing doing.
Walton is the nose guard, and he just doesn't get touched on that play.
Strive a little bit more like Coach Blackman, what we anticipated from him. Just real simple belly plays, running plays, and be conservative with the ball, and they sprung one.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 15.
Looks like Spanish Fort got 14 players out there.
Rolling out, strong arms it to the far side, and that's Tilly. And Tilly will be inside. Well, they'll mark him right out, right on the 5.
Good sound defense out of Spanish Fort.
Picks up 10.
Give him the out on that little out play.
3rd and goal from the 5, and also gave Carroll a breather on the play also.
Yeah, not a call where you're going to hand it to your running back there. They needed yards.
Spreading them out.
It's that quarterback draw. We've seen that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the formation looks favorable to that, huh, Jim?
Yep. Play clock inside 5. Silver gives it off to Carroll and right up the middle, and that goes nowhere, just back to the 5. Now what do you do, Coach Lockett?
Well, they tried to spread them out and just stay simple with it and give them on the dive play, but, you know, being down 21-6, Dan, what are you going to go for? You're going to kick to get some points out of it?
I think that it's not a given you're going to get the points because Carroll missed the extra point, so maybe that's not their strength anyway. So, if you know, you get the feeling that Spanish Fort is going to keep scoring some, I think you need a touchdown here.
All right, well, they'll put it in the hands of Brandon Silver and let that senior quarterback make a good decision.
Single coverage, Tilly.
Now Tilly getting some help there. They're getting some help on Tilly.
Silver pitches it back to Carroll with a straight arm. Carroll's going to be knocked out of bounds for a loss on the play.
Not the speed to get to the corner, and too many Toros that were unblocked on the play.
So yeah, Brandon McCants again coming up there from that cornerback position to force the play. Just wasn't nothing there. I mean, Silver held it as long as he could before you could pitch it, and just wasn't enough there.
They had 1st and goal at the 5, and they ended up turning it over at the 6. Thank our friends.
Hey, good job by Spanish Fort.
Yeah, Subway, our title sponsor, bringing you high school football. We wouldn't be here in Spanish Fort without Subway. So thanks to all they do for high school football.
Is that hindsight being 2020, I would have liked to see them get some points just for emotional.
Let's see how the defense holds up now.
See if they can flip the field.
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you what, here's the deal, too. Is Mark Freeman tells us at halftime they were just trying to use the run to set up the pass.
Correct, yeah. He's thinking 2 plays ahead.
Yeah, the run ended up
being successful, so, hey, we don't go to the next script.
We're not going to worry about the 2 plays later.
No. Good position to be in as a coach.
2nd and about 6 here for the Toros. Otis Smith in the backfield with Joel Poe. Poe keeps it with a gap on the left side, and he's got the first down for the Toros and a bunch more out at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, you didn't want to let them out the hole, but they've got it from out of the shadow of the goalpost, and take a look. He just keeps it around the end. Tyler Starr just staying with him, chasing the football, and makes the tackle.
Stargell, for such a big guy, is a sideline-to-sideline dude, isn't he?
He's got some stride with him there. He's picking him up and putting him down to get to the ball carrier.
He's got some want to.
Mm-hmm. And that's a big part of it, Dan. Good point.
That's one thing I noticed in Stargell. He gets after it every play.
We'll hear more about Tyler Stargell later in the game. Give on the left side, and not much doing on first down there for the Toros.
Stargell heading to Georgia Tech. I'm going to get him a resume before he leaves out of here just to get a jump on there.
Let him know who you are, right? Never hurts.
Yeah.
He was on the pregame show, for those of you who watched that we had at Eastern Shore Toyota, and I made the joke about him being on the all-interview team, but no joke. He was
fantastic, right?
Great, well-spoken young man.
4.2 GPA, 29 on the ACT.
29 on the SAT. That's like what you and I did.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that go up into the hundreds of numbers, and for some.
Me taking the SAT is actually on YouTube. Now it's you got to sit there, you got to watch it. It takes a while to load, but it's worth the laughs.
3rd and 9. Oh, that's what YouTube was built on. Monkeys, dogs, babies, and Brennan taking the SAT. 3rd and 9.
I'll take that one.
For the Toros. Poe just dumps it out of the backfield for Otis Smith, and Smith can make something happen, and he's got the first down for the Toros up near midfield.
Got to make a play there.
And 15 coming at the end of that one is.
Wow.
What did you see, Dan?
Grant Horst.
Jim, what did you see?
Yeah, it's going to be after the first down was picked up. Grant Horst just put a big block on after the play was virtually over.
They're playing through the whistle here.
Yeah, it's setting up a little screen.
Now,
there.
was that a block in the back that had somebody flying for Gulf Shores? I mean, it's suddenly there was this great divide for Otis to run through.
Yeah, and he just went north and south. That's what I like.
But I saw a Gulf Shores defender kind of sprawling to the ground. That was the late flag you were talking about, Jim, right there.
Yep. And Horst comes to the sideline to get an earful from Mark Freeman. That one was past even the echo of the whistle. And
playing hard through the third whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Grant Horst comes quickly back in as he was replaced by Victor Dunning. And then Coach Freeman said, "I'm very upset, but son, go back in there. We'd really like you on the left side of the line."
You're kind of good.
Correct yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Get back out there.
So what have we got here now? First down and, okay.
Okay, I think it's going to be a 1st and 10.
1st and 10, right. And so they've got to move that second chain down.
There you go.
All right.
We're comfortable now. That looks familiar to us.
Okay.
Fourth penalty for 52 yards against Spanish Fort. Empty set for the Toros. Poe rolls to his right, and he'll pull it down. Looking for a block from Crane again, and steps out of bounds. Blaine Crane likes to toss those blocks.
Yeah, but he ran up on Stargell there, and I don't think Stargell appreciated it.
Well, he at least got in his way and slowed him down enough. That's part
just
of
a minute, yeah.
Pick up 11 yards and another Toro.
That's good for another Toro first down as Poe gets 11 yards. And we'll take a timeout halfway through quarter number 3, heat timeout. 5:44 to go. Toros on top. They got the ball back here on the hill. Having fun at the fort here tonight.
Why not?
Too much fun.
Toros on top, 21-6. We'll go down to Pat Greenwood, who's will make us chuckle a little bit as well. As this pitch goes out to Otis Smith, and Smith's going to be up near another first down. Pat, we had joked about Grant Horst not coming out of the game very long after that penalty.
Yeah, and here's why. Let's take a look back at the play before that one that just ran. The play ultimately went away from him, but watch big number 72, Grant Horst, on the left side of the line. Number 4, Ryan Morgan is blitzing. Ryan Morgan giving up about 40 pounds, and that's why you keep Grant Horst in the lineup.
Wow.
Because that is a heck of a block on that blitzing linebacker.
Another Chuck Dart emailing us in. Speaking of big plays and Pat Greenwood, Chuck says, "Did you know that Pat Greenwood led the NAIA in hoops 3-point percentage?" He said, That was like for an hour, but it was at Loyola, and you did. That's true, isn't it, Pat?
Well, yeah, it's a long story. I won't bore you with the details, but I led the NAIA in three-point shooting percentage for about 12 seconds. I was 1 for 1. Then I chucked it up again next time down the court, and it wasn't pretty.
It's still impressive.
Yeah.
So another penalty here, and this will back up Spanish Fort to 1st and 15.
NAIA known for the pressure defense out on the perimeter. How Pat got open is anybody's guess.
It's where you were looking at playing because they didn't ask any defense.
Please. That's right. I could fit right into those plans.
Pat is just he's beside himself on the sideline right now with what he just can't get a word in back to you, Dan. 5.5 left. Billy Harris goes in motion. He'll give it off to Poe, and Poe gets across the 40.
If he hadn't have sent him in motion, he was out there by himself. He could have just pitched it to him, and he would have ran all day because they had Stargell in on a blitz.
And yeah, you saw that. You were like jumping it. You could see it. You're like, he's got it. He's got it.
Yeah. Pre-snap reads, real important.
Here's another thing that's important. Next time Gulf Shores gets their hands on the ball, they need to keep it a while because his defense is really getting tired.
You're so right.
Even on that last drive, it was one big play that got them in a position to threaten for a score, which they never got.
Otis Smith, 3rd and long coming up here for the Toros.
Yeah, Gulf Shores has kind of made a bit of an adjustment now, trying to tighten that middle up, even though Spanish Fort is spreading them out and by alignment just had the middle and had their weight Dan all night.
Mm-hmm. They made some big gashing plays right over center.
In honor of Reese Dismukes.
Yeah, right. We thought they could only run over the middle when Reese was there.
3rd down and about 6 for the Toros. Poe on the slant, able to get that one off to Crane, and Crane's got the 1st down and a bunch more as he breaks the tackle at the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another 1st down, and that will keep that Gulf Shores defense on the field a while longer.
Yeah, that was a good job by Crane traversing across the field against the grain after he catches the football. Catches him coming back to him, but he's actually coming to him. As you see there, and get a block, head upfield north and south.
His daddy could run real well, too, but he was playing outside linebacker at about 235. Then this young Blaine Crane right about 170.
Good job by John to run him down and save a touchdown.
3:52 and counting, and you're right, Dan. The Gulf Shores defense has just been out there the whole quarter. Complete to Johnson. Johnson's got another 1st down.
And somebody's got to step up and make a play for Gulf Shores, or they're going to turn it into a long evening. So they're looking for some leadership, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're asking 11 tired guys to make a play.
Somebody.
Well, look at the quickness of Johnson, too.
And this is where those gassers you talked about last week come into play.
Mm-hmm.
Inside handoff, trying to bounce it to the outside is Smith, and then he cuts it back inside, and he's in for the touchdown, Toros.
Great effort by that young man to dive for the end zone at the last minute. Is he okay? Let's hope so. Ooh, maybe a cramp.
Boy, it was a celebration. It was during the celebration. Watch.
He kind of helicoptered in just a bit, may have gotten his knee caught.
I think he gets up okay. Yeah, he's fine here. Now watch. Nope.
Yeah.
He put some weight on it, and then you find out, that don't want any weight on it.
And Stargell got caught on the inside a little bit right there.
Mm-hmm.
And
that does look like a cramp, so that's
good news there if it is.
So we'll...
It's just the 2nd game of the year. You're still not in real good game shape, but you're working yourself into it. And, by the 3rd or 4th game, you're there.
But, boy, how much different does it feel tonight than a week ago? And I don't mean just because we have air conditioning here in our box in Spanish Fort.
That gym is cut on and off.
Yeah, it is about 40 degrees difference in the press box, I know. But outside, it's just not as awful as it's been.
Humidity is low, and I guess the storm sucked all of that out, and we'll get our drenching tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty comfortable out there. A little bit of a breeze, and somewhere it's probably maybe like in Gulf Shores right now. For all we know, they might be getting a lot of that tropical mess that's in the Gulf of Mexico right now. There's Otis Smith.
Looks like he's okay in the both sidelines taking a knee and hoping that he's okay. Good sportsmanship by Spanish Fort and Gulf Shores. I love to see that.
For a team that is rebuilding, Spanish Fort looks pretty good.
Yeah, really did. And Otis Smith, big part of that team last year. He got a lot of touches on the offensive side of the ball. And the PAT is good, and the Toros take a commanding 28-6 lead. 3.5 left here in Spanish Fort. Toros on top.
Thank you for supporting Toro Athletics.
28-6. Spanish Fort on top. Jim Cox. Dan Brennan.
99.
Vic Lockett. Pat Greenwood on the sidelines.
99.
Just trying to keep it together here late in the third.
We can do that.
It's always a big task. Jakey.
Wind picking up, by the way, Jim. I don't know if that means rain's moving in, but definitely more of a breeze now.
Coming from the south and on the goal line comes Carroll. Carroll through the wedge out to the 35. You know, there was some, we were given some information as we'll look at our scoring drive here. 92 yards, 12 plays on that drive.
Yeah.
445.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't have drawn it up better.
No.
Had to get some things checked to the receiver, number 14, Billy Harris, for Spanish Fort. Is not related to Matthew, who is playing. I might have just confused the situation more.
Sam's up at Auburn.
Correct.
Sam and Matthew are brothers.
That's it.
Billy is a lone wolf and wants nothing to do.
Trailblazer.
Silvers goes to Tilley on the far side, and Tilley out to about the 43.
I think Spanish Fort defense, you got a late hit where they hit each other. They missed Silvers. They were trying to nail him, and actually guys from converging ends
We've
got
been
to each
known
other.
to see some anomalies in these high school games.
That was one right there. And I think we like Silver's ability as a quarterback, and I think we're going to see more and more of it now.
Oh, sure. They got to spread them out. They're in chase mode full
Watch
time.
it quickly. Watch here. Well, missed it right there. Quickly out to Tilley.
Back to live action. Oh, catch it.
Yep, down out across midfield.
There's not a thing about Silvers that's not attractive as a quarterback prospect, is there?
Yeah, if you give him time, look at him. He'll dial up a receiver and send the ball to him. He just got to catch it.
First catch of the night for Brandon Davis.
Please check for number 679-257. 679-257. You won $130.
Trips to the top.
Silvers fires it to the far side, and trying to break free is Tilley, and he'll pick up a couple.
I like what the center, Tyler Harrison, getting out there on the edge to make a block. Pancake one of the defenders, trying to find the hole for his receiver.
He'll bring up second and about 8.
There's no quit in this Gulf Shores team. Plenty time on the clock.
Inside 2 minutes, but as Dan said, Gulf Shores got to get something going here. You're going to run out of touches.
Yeah, run out of touches and run out of breath on defense.
Can't be too methodical with the drive. Got to get it in the end zone.
Silvers with pressure over the middle, and that one's not held on to by Carroll.
Nice read quickly by Silvers, though,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
that's
just
what I
about to
noticed.
say.
The pressure comes right up the middle, and he knows he's got the outlet right there, and he delivers it on time, on spot, knowing he's going to get hit.
Sure.
And we had talked about sometimes just seeing one of those guys as a football player. How about Carroll? Just a high school football player who's just really good at what he does.
Right.
So if this is 3rd and 8, in the opening frames of Crazy Train, we'll tell you it's 3rd down every time you're here at Spanish Fort.
2 downs to get a first.
Silvers will scramble to the right side. Has some room. Now launches this one into traffic, and it's picked off. Tried to go to the far side. I think it was McCants over there to come up with the INT. No, Jonathan Cook came up with it.
Yeah.
Fell off of his man just playing the football. He threw it into a spot, and he said, hey, my man's not getting it, so, hey, I'll break off in there and just take it from him.
Great job by Cook.
Good recognition, head back, looking for the football.
Jonathan Cook with the interception. He's a junior cornerback. He's been around the football a bunch tonight.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, sometimes these cornerbacks, they'll get asphyxiated with their receiver and not pay attention to the football. But, hey, if your receiver's not getting the football, go to the football. That's what wins the game. Get that interception.
Yeah, don't
Get
just
Jim Cox to call your name.
That's right.
Don't tell the coach, hey, I had my guy covered.
That's right. Yeah.
What good does that do?
Yeah, that doesn't help the defense.
Hey, we're going to go down to Pat Greenwood. He's got a breaking story on a score from a game over in Mobile tonight. How about this final that is coming in, Pat Greenwood? I guess Pat doesn't want to.
I can talk now.
Oh, there we go. I'm sorry.
I was deep in conversation down here. Come on, man.
Don't let this TV thing
don't
get.
make me work.
Don't let this TV thing get in the way of your social skills down there.
Hey, it is a final. Baker over Theodore, 13-7. How about that? Baker's 2-0. We might be a game of the week out at Baker.
How about that?
I like it. It's a good idea.
That is a big win for Baker. When was the last time Baker beat Theodore?
Got to be a while.
Shout out to Coach Smith, coaching the defense out there.
Yeah, Danny
my old
Smith,
coach.
right. Left Davidson, joins Jack French out at Baker, defensive coordinator. Gets
So that's 7 points all year been scored on Baker.
And, you know, Jack French had
2 games in.
Had the great success up at Baldwin County High School.
I was talking to Vic about that when we began doing this.
Yeah.
He had a team that was winning 10 games a year
Absolutely.
or so, or maybe not 10, but he was certainly a heck of a program back then.
What school was it again?
Up at Baldwin County.
Yeah.
Baldwin County High School in Bay Minette.
Yeah, I went down there and played a game back in my day, and I was shocked that we had to really pull it out to
good look at
some athletes they had there.
There's Blaine Crane. Good look at him. So yeah,
and I'm talking the late '80s.
Now we get a whistle here. Got a little issue with Blaine Crane's chin strap, I think.
That's good. The refs keep the player's safety first. Excellent job catching that. Get him off the field and get a replacement player in.
Jason Milner will replace him.
Another interesting, look at this subplot. I'll get to it after this play right now, but with the score what it is, I'll finish that thought.
This one complete to Matthew Harris, and Harris out to about the 33-yard line.
This is a situation where you've got Mark Freeman, coached 2 years at Gulf Shores. He's up here now. There was, some hurt feelings when he left to leave Gulf Shores and stay within the region. Almost like, hey, we're not good enough for you. I mean, right. you got to figure that came up. And the fact is, though, Mark still's got a lot of feelings for these kids on that side of the field. And
we saw a lot of kids hug him at the pregame show.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen if to keep this game from getting too far out of hand? We'll see.
Fourth quarter action coming up after this. Spanish Fort on top, 28-6. Just about ready to start the fourth quarter here on UTV 44. Second game of the season. Vic, we mentioned it last week. Coaches always saying biggest improvement week 1 to week 2. You think these coaches are feeling this way?
Oh, sure. They've learned some stuff and probably made some adjustments.
Johnson with the speed. Johnson across midfield, and Ryan Morgan is trying to shed a block, and he's getting a little frustrated. Had a handful of face masks they're trying to get free.
Morgan, that 180-pound outside backer who's been busy all night, and you're going to be busy defending the whole field against Spanish Fort.
Yeah, but they're going to call blocking it back right there, and it had nothing to do with the play. Play already gone. I just wish they would have held a no call.
Wait a minute. Two things you said, but nothing to do with the play.
Nothing to do with the play.
And, well, it looked like it was at the point of where someone's trying to zero in on the tackle.
He wasn't going to make it.
I may not have. But the other thing is, that's how you end up over at Thomas Hospital. So you get hit. So there's two reasons I think you make that call.
Oh, I say there's two reasons.
Oh, 99.
Let it go.
Cannot put down his defensive shield.
Yeah, that wasn't going to affect the play at all. So play football.
Back some way on up.
Kids, if you're listening at home, play football and hit somebody in the back anytime you want. It's not a big deal to old 99.
Mr. Lockett said it was okay.
But, Mommy, Mr. Lockett on the TV, remember?
All right, you guys
Come on.
up on me now.
Well, gee whiz.
First and I think this might be first and about Malbus now as they going that way.
You got to get to Eastern Shore Toyota
That's
to
really
move the sticks.
I think
what exit?
Yeah, exit
31.
Yeah, something like that. 30, 31, 32 maybe?
I'm going with 31.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, if they can get the nose of this football in Sean Esfahani's office, it will be a first down. Pat Greenwood.
Well, the confusion's on the yard markers on the other side of the field. They had backed it up and made it a 1st and 10. Should be, I think the scoreboard's correct, should be 1st and 30 after the penalty. But that's what the confusion was the one of the officials signaled for the yard marker, the chains to go back down to where the where the yard marker was.
Right.
So now they got it back to where it should be.
Well, I was certainly confused, but I was being quiet until they sorted it out.
I had it 1st and 30, and that's where we are.
The wind's picking up.
8 penalties, 74 yards against Spanish Fort.
Still got them spread out, trying to get out of the hole.
Poe going to be buried and dropped in the end zone for a safety.
Is he going to give him? No forward progress.
Safety for the Gulf Shores Dolphins. Pressure coming right up the middle.
Yeah, that's one he should have just let go if he would have just threw it in the direction of the receiver, and I'm sure they'll coach him up on that one.
The freshman with a safety, Shaman Campbell.
How about that?
Give him credit. After the block in the back on him, he comes back and make a play.
That'll make it 28-8 and give Gulf Shores a chance to get the ball back in good field position here as well.
Yeah. Still a lot of time. 11-21.
And Poe, he kind of thought about trying to force something out of there, and probably made just hold on, 2 points. It's not worth turning it over and giving him 7 at that point.
Yeah, you'd like to see him more throw it to the cheerleaders or something.
Sideline,
and get it.
But he was
get it to the line of scrimmage at least, so you don't get the penalty.
He was under such duress, Vic. I think he was just
concerned about holding on to the football,
exactly.
not fumbling.
Exactly, he tucked it.
So this will result in the free kick here, and see if Gulf Shores can kind of get a little something going. It's like they just haven't been able to sustain much when they've got a little momentum.
Yeah, they've got to, they have to work at it more. You've got a heck of a quarterback, but you don't really have the same sort of skill set on the outside that you've got at Spanish Fort. So your explosive plays are not nearly as many as the Toros are going to rattle off on you. But a great play and showing good heart there with the freshman getting the safety.
Yeah, not a lot of freshmen get safeties.
No.
Hey, Vic, do you have any safeties? I mean, really, it's such a rare play. Can you remember one that you got? Vic, you thinking back? This one is
a lot of conversation in our ears, and Vic was not privy to your question.
Carroll. Up the left side. Now here's a chance to get that momentum back going.
He is the most, for a guy that runs a 4.9, he can return some kicks. Just out of knowing feel and effort. I mean, that kid is fun to watch just because of the effort.
Yeah, some people just have a knack at that thing. Sometimes people don't have blazing speed, but they just have a knack for returning kicks, and that's what he did. You should take a look at the young ladies from Spanish Fort cheering their team on.
I was saying, Vic, about safety, such a rare event. Do you remember getting one? Do you remember getting many?
No, can't get one. I hadn't gotten one credited to me.
Really?
In my career. No.
How about that? You know what? I'm not counting you out, Vic, but I'm just saying.
Wait till we break the news to Selena on the couch.
Oh,
who's been, staying closely involved with.
And she's
Vic
also
tonight.
been commentating a bit.
She has,
making some corrections. So go Selena.
Silvers will end up scrambling ahead before he's wrapped up by Austin Lohr.
This defense doesn't look real different than last year's defense, even though everybody's new. This side of Montgomery, who's back. Make a lot of plays behind the line of scrimmage.
Swarming.
Absolutely.
Austin Lohr, did I pronounce that correct?
Yes, you did. If not, we'll get an email.
From Selena.
Yeah. Listen, interactive stuff, after a while, gets on your nerves a little bit. You know what I mean? They really nail us.
Have you picked up on that?
They nail us at every turn here.
Especially when there's just, the whole
the Harris
family tree is just very confusing. Silvers steps up and he'll be hit and dropped for a loss.
Look at the pressure again, right in his face.
Yeah,
Marco Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery just rushing from the end. He tried to step up in the pocket, but Montgomery stepped up with him.
Wes Williams from Wheel 2 updating us. 28-14. Fairhope on top of McGill. So McGill's cut the gap. 7:30 to go in that one.
Well, they've cut the gap twice because it was 28-zip.
Yep. Be excited when we get a chance to get a peek at that Fairhope team.
Pirates, very explosive. Couple of great offensive linemen and an excellent quarterback and a lanky receiver a lot of people really like.
Yeah, and a young coach a lot of people are real high on as well, and David Faulkner. Tilly, did he get inbounds?
Yeah, I think he did.
They're short of the first down, but just arm strength alone, Vic. Not a lot of guys make that throw.
You're right, yeah. And he was rolling to his right there and then was able to square his shoulders up and get the football down the field. That's what you want right there. Zip it out there to him. He get that 1 foot down. That looks NFL-like.
Still got about 3 or 4 to go, Jim. Keep the drive going.
So 4th and 3. Now, Pat said he just got another score from the Lip. It's now 28-21. Fairhope leading McGill. On 4th down, pressure. Silvers fires it out. Does he stay in bounds? Does not.
Excellent effort, though, by that young man to try to drag his foot there.
Zabel.
Alex Zabel.
Could not stay in bounds, but Silvers also just trying to make something happen with a big bull rush on him.
Yeah, he was under heavy duress and just muscle it out there, and good effort by both sides.
Wow. That was close.
That was Pat Greenwood. You had a great look at that there.
I'll be honest with you, I thought his foot was in. The throw was really just kind of thrown up there. And I'll tell you, the receiver really just made a great adjustment just to even get his hands on the ball. And like I said, I thought he dragged it.
Yeah, it looked like he was, of course, on the Spanish Fort side, they were saying it wasn't even close. Here's Autry bouncing it to the outside. Ed Autry across midfield. Boy, he likes to do some banging with that football.
Spanish Fort has got 2 great-looking backs. I mean, he's stepping up in there with authority, and he got right there in that alley and found some room and took it on around the end, pick up a first down. Coach Freeman likes it when he just calls a run play and they get for 10 yards.
Stay in bounds and you roll that clock. Keep that in mind.
Don't get anybody injured.
Poe back to Autry. Autry goes to about the 36. See the Dolphins trying to rip the ball.
Chris Carlisle still playing football.
Yeah, Connor Martin, the sophomore linebacker, in there as well.
And Autry getting a 4 yards. Second down and 6.
Inside 9 minutes.
I see the effort out of Gulf Shores, and that's what's good.
Yeah, this is a team that gave up 56 points to Robertsdale a year ago and 6 to them last week.
Yep.
Gulf Shores defense.
We'll talk about the defensive coordinator that was brought in by.
Yeah, we got a tip of the cap to him for sure.
There's a jump from last year.
Rolling is Poe, back to his right. Pressure from the backside again. The freshman Campbell was there to put the big hit on.
But that Stargell whiffs. Stargell just he gives a lot every play. He's not going to make every play.
Now flag dropped on the far side.
Trying to judge maybe whether the ball went to the line of scrimmage.
Boy, that was a
grounding.
Big hit by Campbell on the backside. He's got a little extra gas in the motor after that safety.
Sure does.
Says Vic Lockett never had one of these, and I've got one.
Grounding against the offense.
Talking about the defensive coordinator who's going to keep these guys playing at the highest level they can. His name is Tony Stonecker, and he had 26 years in the business.
Yeah, it's really a great story with Coach Blackman.
Yeah, Blackman played in defenses when he was playing ball in Montgomery against Stonecker coached defenses. And then he coached against defenses that Stonecker was coaching, and he said, I might end up with a job someday where I want him to be my defensive coordinator. And, Blackman, a young guy at only 33 years of age, gave Stonecker a call as soon as he got the Gulf Shores job. And Stonecker said, I like to fish. I like to play golf. I'm there. And I like to coach kids who want to get better.
And
talent recognizes talent.
Talked about Coach Blackman, 33 years old, 5th year as a head coach.
Yeah, 4 straight playoff appearances at Greenville.
Poe over the middle, able to get that one complete. And this time it's Devontae Patrick, and Patrick has got it inside the 20, now down to the 15, and still on his feet before he's finally ridden down.
What I like about that play, Poe stood in there under the duress of Stargell and delivered the football. Watch Stargell coming in here, number 45, delivers the hit on him, but he still gets the ball away to his receiver down the field.
It's a
Keep
good
the
throw.
drive alive, and a good pass.
Good throw.
Under the duress. I tell you, they think Stargell and the Gulf Shores defense is going to quit. They've got another thing coming.
Marty Kennedy passing along a score to us. Daphne 45-7, a final over Baldwin County. Daphne continued to roll on as Autry picks up a couple. This is a score interest. Some people, that ball came out at the end of the play, but recovered back by Spanish Fort.
And this is just, there's Stargell down at the bottom, and that's the sort of situation where people can get a little chippy, loose ball on the ground, right? Their long day.
Well, Stargell's tired of playing defense. He wants to get the offense.
Autry has something to say, and they get him out of there.
So there's no quitting that young man.
And congratulations to Phil Lazenby and his crew at Bayside. A win over T.R. Miller tonight, 28-27. St. Paul's 37-6 over Faith Academy in the fourth. It is 28-21. Fairhope on top of McGill in the latter stages of the fourth here. 2nd and 10 for the Toros.
Future looks bright. They've got 83 players on their 8th grade team.
How about that?
Unheard of.
Spanish Fort, not that big a town. Up the far side goes Autry, and he's going to go in for the touchdown.
Now, Autry just takes the handoff and see the hole, and he sprints through.
My correction, that's Otis Smith.
Otis Smith.
They brought Autry out after the...
They're interchangeable. These are two good backs.
They really are. Run similarly.
Quick game, just, the quarterback rides him, and he gets it. The hole's there. Hey, I'm just going to sprint for the end zone.
I think you're seeing some tired Dolphin defenders,
too.
too.
They've been on the field the whole game, really, because the Dolphins just will see the stats.
But I can tell they've been doing their gases. They still giving full effort.
PAT is good in this one now. In control for Spanish Fort. 7 minutes to go. 35-8. Toros have the lead. We're back after this on UTV 44. Seven minutes, 16 seconds left. 35-8. Toros in control of this one. Eric Jaggy ready to kick. Angle kick to the far side. A fair catch called for and dropped, and the ball is loose. And now we get a flag, of course.
Is that going to be offsides? On Spanish Fort?
No, not where he threw it.
No, the flag was laid after all the bodies had converged.
That looks like something there. Oh, there's another flag.
That one's going to be. Yeah,
this is going to be from just now, right?
Yeah, that's going to be on Jonathan Cook for going out of the. I think he was pointing at the scoreboard as he went out of the group of players there.
Unsportsmanlike.
That's going to get him 15.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time we just heard from Mr. Ira Vince.
Well, maybe things are being said that we don't hear.
All burgers and seafood remaining are at half price.
I mean, he's pointing at the scoreboard. Such a terrible thing.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering.
Look at the official doing a good job of calling over the Toros at midfield. Pat Greenwood.
Yeah, I talked to one of the officials actually at halftime, and we were talking about the chippy play in the first half and the penalties that we thought, hey, look, this is just football, but they were warned, and it was part of their pregame meeting for the officials that, hey, if there's anything that in any way, shape, or form looks like it may get out of hand, call it now. Even if it looks a little chippy, call it now and just stop it before it really gets started. And I thought they did a pretty good job of that in the first half, and that's what they're doing here. It's just, the ball game's out of hand. Let's not get tempers out of hand as well.
I mean, there's one thing, I don't know. There's one thing, I don't think that they've tempered anything. I think it just has continued, and the calls continue, and it's all falling on deaf ears.
Right.
And, there was going to be a lot of emotion coming into this game, and I can understand they're trying to do a preemptive deal where they take care of things before anything bad happens, but heck, it's almost like they were branded walking into the stadium.
Yeah.
So
Pittsburgh Steelers, huh?
Well, it's profiling.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, these guys are not going to like each other, so let's throw some flags ahead of time.
Against the kicking team.
So
I'm not down there, and they're
Then
doing
we had a dead ball foul, personal foul against the kicking team.
Those interference when they tried to catch the short kick after the fair catch was called for. That was the first infraction. Then you got the 15-yarder after that. So Gulf Shores has it at the 49.
So that was all? That's all they found on that play?
Right.
Well, but the interference is where I'm confused.
You didn't see it?
I did not see it. And I don't know how it can occur on a pooch punt or kick.
Well, he called for a fair catch and then was interfered with.
Oh, he did fair catch it. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not see him fair catch it. Okay. Signal fair catch. That makes sense. Thank you.
Silver's on the left side. And he'll go out of bounds. Stop the clock with 6:55 left.
It's okay to stay in bounds.
Yeah.
It's all right to stay in bounds.
Well, he looks tired.
Yeah, he's got to be tired.
He's been banged around a bit tonight. He saw a picture of him and had his helmet off, and he's just one of those kids, good-looking kid, looks like the high school quarterback.
Yeah, he looks like a college quarterback to me too, as far as his skill set, his height, his posture. He's not a thin, a rail thin 6'3" either.
No, he's a good-looking kid. We talked about it. Got a nice arm.
The middle goes Carroll.
Just not having the night he wants, and all those aches and pains now are exacerbated because of the score. And they'll hurt even worse tomorrow.
Hey, remember we had that trivia question earlier? Remember what the question was? It was
so long ago, Jim. Really, I'd rather you not bring it up.
Selena answered it, I'm sure.
Gulf Shores, remember they did something last week. They won 9-6. And with that 9-6 win, they did something they had never done before.
I've got a guess.
I hadn't done it in 33 games before. What was it?
Well, my guess, I don't know about the 33 games thing. Well, I was going to say win their opener.
It was not that. That's a great guess, though.
Okay.
I'll give you the answer here, as this one is incomplete. It's the first time they had won a game in school history when scoring less than 10 points.
Oh, wow. So that means Tony Steineker's defense played well.
Absolutely. Held them to 6. 50-point improvement from
immediate dividends.
Yeah. So they were 0-33 when scoring 10 or less going into that game. And now they're going to be 1-34 if they don't score anymore tonight. Tough to win games with less than 10 on the board.
Yeah. Fourth down.
Yep, 4th and 3 here. And
may have gotten it cheap.
Yep, that was DeMarco Montgomery. Vic, you think he was coming?
Oh, yeah. He was smelling the quarterback. Trying to get a quick jump on the right tackle over there.
He is a beast, too. 6'1", 245.
Yeah, he scared me up here.
Yeah, if I remember right, last year, he was the player of the game in one of the games we did over here.
He was. And he was on a team that was dominated by senior stars.
Yep, he was one of the few underclassmen.
He's an awfully good player, and this is a really good defense.
10th penalty against Spanish Fort tonight.
Defense confused.
Silvers fires this one up and incomplete.
I gave him the ball ball. I gave him the ball ball.
Just trying to get rid of the football.
2nd and 10 coming up here. The pace of this game has really slowed here.
Haven't noticed. Have not
And we'll take a heat timeout as well with 5:56 left. This one all Spanish Fort on UTV 44. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Pat Greenwood, Jared Quijas. in the truck. This one wraps up here in Spanish Fort. All Toros at this point. Silver's chucking it down the far side, and he's got Carroll inside the 15.
Slipped out all alone back there.
Wheel route, Vic. I don't know how he slipped out there so innocently.
Yeah, they got lost in the defense. Just take a look at it.
I
just runs a flare out there.
I love watching.
Nobody picks him up.
Silvers throw it, though, man.
Yeah.
I think he's fun to watch.
Yeah, I wish he'd got it a little more in bounds, and Carroll could have kept running, and they could have got some points out of it right then.
No quit, 12 and 26.
Not at all.
I say the entire Gulf Shores team, I'm impressed. These guys are still playing, even though the scoreboard is lopsided.
Well, I'll tell you who's impressive when you get a chance to meet him is Ben Blackman.
Carroll going to be dropped back at the 27-yard line, coming from linebacker spot, Matt Hall.
Well, his team is indicative of him, apparently.
He's an excellent quarterback in high school up in Montgomery. And how about this weekend? They beat Robertsdale 9-6 on a field goal on Thursday night to win their opener against the 6A opponent.
Kicked by Josh Carroll.
And the next day, his wife gives birth. Ben Blackman's wife gives birth to their third baby. I think it's Mary Beasley.
I thought they were going to name it Josh Carroll, but that was not. It was a bad rumor.
I asked him if they were going to name it Field Goal. I said, can it at least be the pet name? He said no.
Carroll goes back to Tilley on the far side at the 30, and Tilley back to the original line of scrimmage and now toward the 10.
And Ben's now got a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 0. Yeah.
Whew. And about 70 kids on his team. He's got a coach, too.
An athletic director at the school, too.
Hey, guys, take a look at Lee McVeigh out here just burying his guy, blocking him there to get some room for his back.
Nice job.
Yeah, there's no quitting these guys.
Big guy way out on the edge.
Yeah,
not easy, right?
That's awesome.
This Gulf Shores team will take on LaFleur, who was defeated by Citronelle tonight.
Wow.
Shocker, isn't it?
14-12.
Or is it not?
0-2 for LaFleur.
Two tight ones to Davidson and Citro.
Silver fires it, looking for Brown in the corner, and he's down to the 1. Make it the 2 is where they'll say he steps out.
Silver did a little pirouette there, and he turned around. 3 defenders in his face, but no problem for the 6'3" quarterback. He put it up over you guys' head. Take a look here.
He had a feeling
spins
that
around here.
I didn't
mean to see you guys.
Yeah.
That's 17, Chris Brown.
One of the reasons that he's getting attacked, Silvers, is because Brown wasn't really going to be a blocker after all, was he?
No.
He was off to go grab the ball.
Mm-hmm. I'm going down here and get some yardage. Move the chains.
Silver's
booting it
out. Fires, and he's got it complete.
How
Touchdown.
about that pass, Dan?
I love the kid, man.
Yeah, Brandon Davis.
Wow. I've heard some schools were really, really interested in him, but if anyone's backed up on their interest, somebody's going to find a diamond in Silver.
Sure. Look at this. He boots it around and delivers a strike right there, right between the numbers. Couldn't have handed it off better.
Makes it 35-14. Brandon Davis, who caught the touchdown, 6'1", 170-pound junior.
Got a lot of kids that play hard, that's for sure.
I don't think you have there's not a plan B for Coach Blackman if you're not.
Good point.
They'll go for 2. Silvers looking. Now he's going to try to get it to the corner himself, and he does for the 2-point conversion.
Good job.
It's pretty well defended by Spanish Fort,
too. I think it is with a lot of athletes. And Silvers, he's not exactly a statue at 6'3", 205.
Yeah.
And he moves well enough.
Yeah, fleet of foot, and just has just enough what you'd call pocket mobility. Makes a guy miss there with the shoulder dip and jumps over another all in the same move. I'd say that's athletic.
Yeah, nice athlete.
And you know what goes into the 2-point conversion? It knows it's 35-16. He's like, it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do it. Let's tell you about our Scholastic Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Caligaz Printing. Tyler Stargell, we talked a lot about him tonight.
What a surprise.
Yeah, outside linebacker, 4.2 GPA, 29 on the ACT. Plays football, of course, and basketball.
I'd pay for that.
Yeah, to watch him.
I want to
watch
see
him post somebody up.
Oh my word!
Going to major in business at Georgia Tech. So there's Tyler Stargell. Again, he was on our pregame show, and Will Martin, senior for the Spanish Fort team, defensive end, 4.2 GPA.
Wow.
college undecided. It's not because of a lack of options.
No. Nice. One thing that has been decided is, wow, what an evening we've got planned. If you're familiar with the Spanish Fort Tour of the Stars homes, you know that Jim Cox lives not far from here. And his wife, Carrie, preparing us, those who are, on the short list.
Right. I mean, there was
some waffles and champagne.
Well, there was talk of tuna nachos. There was talk of, I'm trying to think what else we had on the. I know there was a bunch of avocados on the counter.
Yeah. Well, the text that I got from Carrie herself was waffles and champagne.
Okay,
you can argue if you like.
I didn't get that one.
Okay.
I'm not a waffle fan.
I'm in on the waffles. I'll let you guys do the champagne.
Now the onside kick.
Here comes 99.
Onside kick coming up here. Vic had no interest in the invite before the game. Waffles? Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I can make that.
Vic will be on my couch when Bama kicks off tomorrow. Carroll gets the good bounce, but we got the whistle and the flags.
Yeah. Before the kick, seems like the whistle was going, wasn't it?
Yeah. The referees have been very proactive.
We'll try this again with 3.5 to go. Spanish Fort next week goes to St. Paul's.
Wow. Now there is a matchup.
Offside and there was
apparently they lined up offsides.
Yeah,
he whistled. See?
Offsides.
Oh,
red.
Defense.
Offside on the receiving team.
How does that happen?
When was the last time you've seen that call?
Like I said, they must have lined up because they blew the whistle immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan said they were preemptives. I mean, they were preemptive, proactive.
Yeah.
That'll be a trivia
Pre-game.
Next week's trivia question. How about the call last week with 3:35 left? When was the last time you saw the...
And they were presumptuous, too.
Onside by the receiving team.
Got a good one this time.
Pooch it in. Autry will catch it.
Another day at the office for him.
I got some bad news from the Cox household.
Uh-oh. Waffles off the list?
It looks like everything, it's like a tropical storm. It's been downgraded. Yeah, we are down to cheese and crackers.
Yeah, but it's
very upsetting.
Yeah, it's not like Kraft singles, I'm going to tell you. M&S Music.
Still, I mean, come on.
Sponsor of high school football. Our halftime show here every week. Navigator Credit Union. And also Caligas. I am going to bring up the fact about my wife texting you. That will be mentioned in the post game, Mr. Brennan.
I'm sure it will, and I'm sure that
the post game or just the post game?
I don't think it's been mentioned in the post game.
Okay, post.
I mean our post game.
Yes.
Well, I guess she heard about Hurricane Vic, and she said, "Well, we better take the red flags down."
I think she did. Yeah, a quick change in the menu.
Yeah.
Until 99 was lurking.
Here's another flag. How about? There's talk of that curfew in Mobile. I mean,
glad there's not one in Spanish Fort.
This would be
a house arrest.
I mean, this game is coming up on 3 hours.
Yeah, they'd have to use the locker rooms as a jail, the stadium, and everything else.
I mean, there's some coaches that have broke down the game film from tonight already.
The laundry's done in Citronelle.
Poe gives it off to Autry. Looking to the near side, a face mask. And now Autry did not like that either. And now this is not what you want to see. And we got some players coming off on the Spanish Fort side.
Yeah, well.
And the coaches are doing a good job to get their players back.
I don't know. It's just
all
of the late flag here now too.
Yeah.
Probably going to be some injections from this one.
I just don't think that anything they were doing leading up to this was really diffusing anything. I don't know what you can do.
Yeah, and I think Mark Freeman is very, very unhappy. Boy, that was a very, very flagrant face mask tackle.
I agree.
That took place, and Autry came up immediately, not liking that.
Yeah, he's hurt too.
And now DeMarco Montgomery down on the far side. They're kind of restraining him, and it happened right in front of the Spanish Fort bench. Pat Greenwood.
Well, they're having to help Ed Autry off the field, too. That's, he's, I don't know how serious of an injury or what kind of injury it is, but that's, inflamed it, right along the Spanish Fort side. Coach, the Spanish Fort head coach, Mark Freeman, he's been upset all night because he feels that all these conduct penalties have been going against Spanish Fort, not against Gulf Shores.
Right, I would agree.
And, again, this happens right in front of the Spanish Fort sideline.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 or 6
flags. Yeah.
It looks like a little children's game.
Yeah. But, this is not what you want to see out of our high school football.
It's not.
Let's keep our tempers where they need to be. But you play through the whistle and just keep it calm.
You'd been saying all night it was brewing. I mean, you'd been.
Well, it was, and I just didn't see, whatever the officials were trying to do, I thought some of that was overcompensation. I don't know what else you can do. It was definitely brewing, but a lot of those penalties that were called along the way didn't stop any of this from happening. That's all I'm saying.
Just kind of backfired, huh?
I don't know.
A little fuel to the fire? Or?
I don't know.
Here's the end result, huh?
The end result is right in front of our faces.
Well, and I will say this, as it started to escalate, the Spanish Fort coaches, physically restraining the players, did a great job to get them quickly back off the field.
Right.
I mean
because it happened right in front of them.
Yeah.
And this is what you expect out of the coaches. The coaches, they're upset and they're intense into the game too, but they know what they're doing, and they know that they're the leaders and the players are watching them, and we expect them to maintain civility out there with the players.
Yeah,
you're right.
But from initial contact, it was a grab with a face mask, because we'll listen into everything here.
We have a live ball, personal foul, face mask against white. We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, against red. We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, against white. We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, against red, and an ejection. We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, against white.
Well, and I'm not sure who was ejected, but if I'm not mistaken, you sit out a game if you're ejected as well.
It might have got to do with leaving the bench.
Yeah, and
a little too enticing, the fact that it happened right in front of the Spanish Fort bench. Who's going to leave the bench? Gulf Shores or Spanish Fort? Man, what a mess.
The punishment, will, like you say, linger on beyond just this football game.
And they got St. Paul's. St. Paul's next week.
And they need everybody they can have.
Sure.
All hands on deck, right?
Yeah, we're going to take another look here at what all transpired, but you'll watch on the face mask tackle. It was from the get-go. Let's watch here.
Spin them around.
Then you see lots of pushing and shoving.
Wow.
Jackson Kales on the face mask. Watch the Spanish Fort coaches doing a good job getting everybody back.
Yeah, this is not what you want. Yeah,
his helmet came off at one point.
I think he may have hurt himself in the fray there, not necessarily doing the play. But hope he's okay, and prayerfully, we get this game settled and get it in the books, and let's get back to practice next week, look at the film and see what we did wrong, what we did good, and get better from it.
Well, this hasn't dampened the rivalry at all, has it? Man.
Oh, we can go ahead and book this game next year in Gulf Shores.
I believe so. I'll tell you what.
But we want a good, clean football game, and we want just the athleticism come out of these two teams, and none of this extracurricular.
And we got 3:21 to go yet.
Yeah.
We've got 3:21 to survive.
Maybe so. Well, we talked about it pregame that there was definitely a tension.
Yep.
Even at Eastern Shore Toyota on Wednesday.
You're right.
Did you guys have to have security?
Well, not us.
Not other than Jim's, entourage. I'm not talking about those guys.
I'm just saying
there was a vibe. There was definitely a vibe.
Yeah.
A little thickness in the air, huh?
Yeah. So they have marked off the penalties.
I've never seen Jim approached by a fan for
I forgot about that. Yeah. I should have got 15 in the parking lot.
I don't know how she got by security.
No, it wasn't that. But that guy deserved 15 for mouthing off in the parking lot.
Yes, he did.
It's Poe. But then you were like the third man in, to use a hockey term, Dan. You did have my back. I appreciated that.
I couldn't wait to be part of it.
Pat Greenwood.
I'm trying to sort everything out down here, fellas. Ed Autry, by the way, has his gear off. They're looking at his neck. It doesn't seem ultra serious, but obviously he's not going to go back in the ball game. I believe DeMarco Montgomery is the guy that got tossed from Spanish Fort.
Not good.
And big loss.
I don't believe anybody from Gulf Shores got tossed, did they?
No, I don't think so. And see, Montgomery was, and then he was way down at the end of the bench, and he was very hot, and he kind of took a few more steps, and they were like, no, that's not gonna happen.
But if you notice too, the PA announcer, I know you guys were announcing, the PA announcer screamed into the microphone, "Boys, stop it, get back on the sideline." Which you kind of laugh, but I'll tell you, it got my attention. With everything that was going on.
Did you settle down?
I settled down.
Wow. Hey,
I didn't get tossed.
Let me give you this one, Pat Greenwood. 35-34, McGill Tulane with 1:40 left.
Are you kidding me?
They were down 28 bagel.
Wow.
35-34. This coming from Wes Williams. Now, Wes is very slanted toward McGill. We know that,
but he can do math.
I don't think he would steer us wrong. That game was 28-0 in the second half in favor of Fairhope.
Wow. Now, I can do math, but 28 bagel. Never heard.
Zero. Bagel. Zero.
28 biscuit in the South, Jim. I don't know about bagel.
Hey, Patrick. The other thing that you want to keep track of, I've had my raincoat down here. Haven't touched it. 10 minutes, we've had just a little hint of rain. We got to get this thing over with, guys.
Well, and mostly we want to get it over with because of you in the rain, Pat.
Well, absolutely. That's most important.
Our big concern.
No, really, I think the tempers have cooled as much as they can down here. The coaches have done a pretty good job. They're not obviously not happy about the calls, but at least they're on the Spanish Fort sideline. They're just saying, look, play the game, run the clock out, let's get out of here.
2:21 left.
This whole fourth quarter has just lingered along. It started with about, I don't know, somewhere around 9:20, and we're just kind of laboring through the fourth quarter. That was even before all the penalties and melee.
I would just say bad time for Coach Freeman to call the flea flicker with up 35-16.
Yeah, wouldn't do it now.
We would have a brawl on our hands.
Wouldn't do it now.
We'd be calling the boxing match.
They would love to just get the first down and just be able to just run this clock out.
Well, it looks like they're still making adjustments on offense.
And you hear the wind is really starting to pick up here. Poe on the keeper on the right side. He's trying to get to the edge. He'll be brought down at midfield, and that'll bring up fourth down. A timeout. Timeout taken by Gulf Shores.
I was about to say, who's